and Shri Bimal Jain, PhD CCI, to kindly grace the dais. I request everyone to kindly switch off their mobiles. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Inspector Ankurita, Customs Preventive Delhi Commissionerate, your host for the evening. I welcome you all to this celebration of completion of the glorious 60 years of Customs Act 1962. I welcome our chief guest, Honorable Shri S.K. Agarwal, Member CBIC. Our guests of honor, Honorable Shri V.K. Chaudhary, Chief Commissioner, Customs Preventive Delhi Zone, Honorable S.K. Rahman Sir, Principal Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, Shri Hemant Jain, Vice President, PhD-CC, and Shri Bimal Jain, Chairman, PhD-CCI, on this momentous occasion. Today we have all gathered here to commemorate the celebration of the completion of glorious 60 years of the Customs Act 1962. On this occasion, we are also organizing the seminar and trade interaction session on Customs IGCRS Rules 2022, as the customs and trade are interconnected with each other. Now, without taking much time, may I request Shri S.K. Rahman Sir, Principal Commissioner of Customs of Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Shri S.K. Agarwal, Member CBIC, with a sapling. May I now request Shri Bimal Jain, Chairman, PhD CCI, to welcome Shri V.K. Chaudhary Sir, Honorable Chief Commissioner, Customs Preventive Delhi Zone, with a sapling on behalf of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. As this is the inaugural session, we will begin by taking the blessings of the Almighty by lighting a lamp, which is considered auspicious in our Indian tradition. May I request Honorable Members CBIC and other dignitaries seated on the dais to kindly light the auspicious lamp. Let's pray to God that we may continue to burn the auspicious light that may bring in happiness, prosperity, and healthy long life to all of us. May I now invite respected Principal Commissioner Sir, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, to kindly come forward and address the gathering. Sir.
Sri S.K. Agarwal sir, Honorable Member CBSE, Sri V.K. Chaudhary sir, Honorable Chief Commissioner of Customs Preventive Delhi Zone, Sri Hemant Jain, Vice President, PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Sri Bimal Jain, Chairman Indirect Tax Committee, PhD CC, former President's Chair and Co-Chair of PhD CC, present Office Bearers of PhD CC, representatives of trade and industry, senior officers from CBIC, particularly Board Office, Delhi Customs, DG Systems, Delhi Customs Preventive Zone, and my dear colleagues from Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate. Very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to this session. We have all gathered here to celebrate the joyous occasion of completion of 60 years of Customs Act 1962. Personal level, me being from 1992 batch, having completed 30 years of service, probably I am proud to be associated with half of this 60 years journey. If you look back historically, the collection of taxes and the punishments to be done has been mentioned way back in Ardhashastra of Kautilya. After the British rule consolidated here, the modern term customs and its working has been established through Land Customs Act, through Sea Customs Act 1878. It was basically trade between India, UK, and many European countries through sea. 50 years afterwards, they have enacted what is called Land Customs Act 1924. Then after aircrafts have come, then Indian Aircraft Act 1934 has also come. Now, after the independence, as you are aware, India started consolidating, India started developing. The Customs Act has been enacted in 1962, combining all the three land, sea, and air acts. Since then, believe me, since then, there is no looking back for Customs Act and officers who are implementing customs. As you are aware, Customs Department plays a major role in revenue collection of this country. 50% of our indirect taxes come from customs. We have been playing a major role as protectors of economic frontiers of this country. We have played a key role at international fora, at international agreements. We are signatory to WTO agreements. We are part of World Customs Organization, and is truly an international department which is having international fraternity. Within India, we implement Customs Act in coordination with CGST Act 2017, NDPS Act. We are in close coordination with ministries such as Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Home, and in fact, we are one of the leading departments which are implementing our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. As you know, Customs Act 1962 and Customs Tariff Act 1975 are the two major limbs of customs. The rules under this act can be made by Government of India. Regulations can be made by CBSE, Central Board for Indirect Taxes and Customs. One such regulation is customs import of goods at concessional rate of duty or for specified end use 2022, which have come into effect from 10 September 2022 in suppression or modification to the existing IGCR, import of goods at concessional rate of duty, rules 2017. The implementation of this IGCRS 2022, that is import of goods at concessional rate of duty or for specified end use 2022, is with our commissionerate, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, for the states of NCT, Delhi and Haryana. Sir, we have EPCs, export promotion circles, 5 places, sir, Delhi, Faridabad, Gurugram, Rohtak and Panchkula. And these officers posted here we take care about implementation of IGCRS 2022 in these two states, sir. Our officers at these EPCs, apart from implementing IGCRS, also play a crucial role in export promotion, particularly in giving self-sealing permission for the exporters. We also take care of the EOUs, export-oriented units located in these two states. Sir, we have trade and industry representatives from these 5 EPC areas which I mentioned, covering both the states. As you can see, EPC Delhi, EPC Gurugram, Faridabad, Rohtak, Panchkula, and we have our EPC EPC officers also located here, sir. We have invited them to be part of this trade interaction session. As we are celebrating 60 years of Customs Act, as a first measure, we thought we can have an interaction session with the trade and taxpayers on IGCRS 2022. This is in commitment to further movement in commitment to trade facilitation from our commissionerate, particularly from our zone and from CBSE. This is renewal of our commitment to the trade facilitation that we have been doing and we continue to do. Sir, without taking much time, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Honorable Member CBSE, Honorable Chief Commissioner of Customs Delhi Zone, PhD Chamber of Commerce present and past office bearers, and most importantly, my dear taxpayers, importers who are implementing IGCRS, exporters who have taken the self-sealing permission, and also EOEs for this event. After the inaugural session, there will be panel discussion. There will be question answer session. I request the trade members to take advantage of this, to clarify your doubts and participate actively in this program. Hoping that everything will go well, I take the note to welcome once again all the dignitaries on the dais as well as the officers and trade who are available here. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for taking out your time, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Principal Commissioner, sir, for your formal welcome of the dignitaries and the taxpayers. Now may I request Shri Hemant Jain, Vice President, PhD CCI, to share his thoughtful insights with all of us. Sir.
Good afternoon, friends. I would like to welcome Shri S.K. Agarwal sir, Member, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, Government of India. Thank you, sir, for giving time. Shri V.K. Chaudhary ji, Chief Commissioner, Customs, Government of India. Shri S.K. Raman sir, Principal Commissioner, Customs, Government of India. Thank you for always supporting PhD CCI. I wish I'd spoken after you because you've covered everything. Shri Rohit Kumar ji, Joint Commissioner, Customs, Government of India, all our friends from Customs Department, Pramod Rai sir, all people who are here, thank you for coming here. Managing Committee members of PhD CCI, eminent dignitaries, friends from medias, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very good afternoon to all of you. Our nation is celebrating the day of completion of 60 glorious years of the Customs Act 1962. The Customs Act not only acts as a vanguard to the economic frontiers of the country, but builds up the nation through collections of revenue. Customs Act 1962 and Customs Act 1975 are two limbs of customs law in India, which must be read with rules and regulations. The rules making power is deliberated to the central government, while the regulation making power is delegated to Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Laws of collection of revenue, punishments of various violations thereof are indicated as early as Kautilya Arthashastra. The Customs Act of 1962 is the most crucial act that provides for the implementation and collections of duty on goods imported and exported in the country. This act also deals with import and export procedures, prohibitions on importation and exportations of goods, penalties, offenses, and much more. The preventive functions of the Customs Department broadly includes sea patrolling, land patrolling, intelligence systems, search seizures, investigation, and disposals of seized and confiscated goods. The custom import of goods and concessional rate of duty or for specified end use rule 2022 superseding the existing customs import goods at concessional rate of duty rules 2017 has come into effect from the 10th September. The implementation of the new customs imports of goods at the concessional rate of duty or specified end use rules 2023 is on the lines of the theme of Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav. Idea, achievement, and resolve, and our commitments to the taxpayer 2022. The Daily Customs Preventive Commissionerate looks after the implementation of the rules in the NCT of Delhi and Haryana states. So this is a script which was given to me, but I would like to say something beyond the script. Because we believe that in India, I'm speaking from the industry side, that India has a long way to go. We have several constraints because as an industry, we are, and then when we go into the international market, we have cost. The costs sometimes are higher in India on the cost of finance, on the cost of infrastructure, on cost of I would say energy cost. So I think custom duty also in a way helps the industry in the Make in India concept of India, because it also acts as a safeguard from undue dumping from countries, especially like China and all. And I think countries like USA have also adopted this. They have formulated a policy in which they have added tax and levies to ensure that Make in USA increases. And I'm sure with your leadership, this will also happen in India, so that there's more and more impetus to make in India. I'm sure, I think the industry is looking forward to more and more support from the government on this. On this note, once again, I would like to thank all the custom officers on the completion of 60 years of Custom Act 1962 and welcome all dignitaries and participants in today's seminar. Thanking you all. Thank you for giving time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hemant Jain, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time that I take the opportunity of inviting Honorable Member Shri S.K. Agarwal to address the August gathering. Sir.
Shri Hemant Jain, Vice President, PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Shri Vimal Jain, Chairman Indirect Tax Committee of PhD Chamber. Shri Virendra Chaudhary, Chief Commissioner Customs Preventive Zone. Shri S.K. Rahman, Commissioner Customs Preventive. My other colleagues from Customs Department, members of Trade and Industry, my colleagues from Board, and ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to be amidst all of you and welcome you in the celebrations marking 60th year of the Customs Act, which was enacted in the year 1962. The Act came into force on 1st February 1963. It consolidates, as mentioned by Shri S.K. Rahman also, the Sea Customs Act of 1878 and the Land Customs Act of 1924, and thereafter the Aircraft Act, which came sometime in 34, and other allied enactments. I can say for sure that this is one of the most beautiful piece of legislation, which encompasses all the facets of implementation of border control in a very crisp and smooth manner. The beauty of the law is that it kept pace with the changing times and adopted well with the technological advances. I am happy to be part of this immersive journey of law for almost 34 years so far out of these 60 years. In fact, soon after joining the department, I witnessed the path-breaking reforms initiated in 1991 and the gradual opening of the Indian economy to global competitive environment, which brought whip of fresh air. The transformation of industry started happening with increased competition from the imported goods. This led to investment in new technologies and transformation of industry, which could compete globally. The other side of the story is that it also hastened the process of phasing out of industry, which became obsolete and not able to keep pace with the changing times. I can tell you from my personal experience that my father was working in a PSU, which was manufacturing bulk drugs. And when the customs frontier were opened in early 90s, by way of bringing more and more goods in OGL, including bulk drugs, the cheaper imports of bulk drugs had shaken the foundation of that industry. However, keeping the borders shut means that we are losing the race, and it would be more and more difficult to catch up with the efficient ones. Also, after all, we need foreign exchange for import of our essential requirements, where we are not self-sufficient. And for that, we need efficient export sector to earn the foreign exchange. I would say that in that direction, customs have played a very positive role. Since I witnessed the liberalization journey of the country from the beginning, I can say with conviction that Indian customs have always remained at forefront in modernizing its processes and changing them with the requirement of times. It is one department which embraced workflow-based electronic data interchange way back in 1995 by taking nimble steps. It was first introduced in Air Cargo Delhi and gradually introduced in all other major customs formations. With the advent of technology, most of the activity of filing was shifted from service centers, which were located in custom houses, to internet-based filing from remote locations. And for striking the right balance between facilitation and enforcement, risk management system was introduced by customs in the year 2005. And there is no looking back since then in trade facilitation at one hand and ensuring that trade complies with the requirement of the law on the other side. Be it introduction of accredited client program, which is now known as authorized economic operators program, or single window to bring all regulatory agencies on same platform. Indian customs have left no stone unturned to bring the best concepts in the world at the doorstep of EXIM community in India. There may be certain implementation issues. However, conceptually, we are far ahead of most of the developing countries and many developed countries also in this regard. When I joined the department, the custom houses were more like fish market, swarmed with the clearing agents jostling to get their papers cleared. There were long queues outside the rooms of chambers of the customs officers. However, with EDI and subsequently with e-Sanchit, where the document uploading facility has been provided to the EXIM community, we are now in times where papers can be filed and tracked from the comforts of one's own offices. In the customs clearance process, there are multiple stakeholders, and overall experience of the trade as well as cost involved depends on performance of each one of these stakeholders.
However, in this environment, customs plays dominant role. Therefore, Permanent Trade Facilitation Committee and Customs Consultative Committee meetings are held regularly to address the hurdles in customs clearance process. And the large participation of all the stakeholders, including the regulatory agencies, provides a common platform for redressal of difficulties and concerns of each other. In these directions, the customs have introduced the concept of direct port delivery in case of imports and direct port entry in case of exports to bring down the time taken in completion of process as well as bringing down the cost. The department is conducting national time release study on annual basis in first week of the calendar year, that is in first week of January, based on unimpeachable time stamps obtained from customs automated system. The study is a kind of self-diagnostic tool which is helping customs to identify the areas required focus attention. I can say with sense of pride that India could achieve most of the commitments set in World Trade Organization's Trade Facilitation Agreement, that is TFA, well in time. And remarkable progress has also been made in delivering on TFA Plus, initiatives which are aimed at infrastructure and technology augmentation, modernization and harmonization of export and import processes. These measures have contributed to reduction in trade costs and time as measured by the average cargo release time studies. And the world economy today is more competitive than ever, with countries vying to attract investments and resources. In this exercise, they are aided by a plethora of performance indicators, which are regularly published by various entities, often combined with their internal assessments. Therefore, scores on these indicators carry significant economic consequences. Continuous improvement in World Bank's trading across border ranking of India, which is a component of Ease of Doing Business Index, is an indicator of significant improvement in customs clearance process. The PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry and its members are key galvanizers in the development of India's industry, business, and the economy. It is well known that this apex institution is playing a commendable role in the country's trade and commerce and significantly integrating with the world economies to strengthen bilateral and economic relations. The need of a digital platform and transformation in government services and especially in taxation is well appreciated and understood. The way also emphasized by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the Rajasva Gyan Sangam held in 2016 in the annual conference of Chief Commissioners, where he outlined the rapid charter for tax administrators hinging on 5 critical elements: revenue, accountability, probity, information, and digitization. The emerging technologies provide the department an ample opportunity to further strides in bringing about a digital transformation in customs clearance processes, the automation in bond management, manifest processing, data interchange with countries relating to origin certificates, and declaration is making the clearances even simpler. Further moving ahead and renewing our commitment to taxpayers' facilitation and in keeping with the spirit of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebrating 75 years of India's independence, CBIC dedicated the special outreach programs regularly for taxpayers' facilitation by customs field formations on the lines of the theme for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is idea, achievement, and resolve. These special outreach programs act as a local help desk to assist the taxpayers and handhold them as and when required. I'm happy that in this spirit, today's seminar on import of goods at concessional rate of duty rules is being organized by Delhi Customs Preventive Zone under the aegis of PhD Chamber of Commerce. I'm sure that a lot of useful discussion will take place in the course of this seminar, and it will be mutually beneficial both for the trade as well as for the department. Trade will be benefited as the discussions will take the attention to the new salient features of the newly amended rules, and department will be benefited from the feedback and knowing the difficulties that trade is facing in implementation of these rules. Shri Hemant Jain mentioned about the customs duty and increasing the customs duty to provide a protection to Indian industry. Yes, it is a way of providing some temporary protection to Indian industry. But here we have to adopt a very, very calibrated approach, because if customs duty is raised on one sector, it naturally hurts the other sector. It is not that it is beneficial for everyone. And we should not encourage any kind of complacency or building up of cost in any segment of the industry. So wherever the duties have been raised, that is only a temporary measures, so that industry can build up the capacity, become competitive, and then the rates will again be lowered. Because we need internationally competitive industry if we want to sustain it for long. To conclude, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the PhD Chamber and their office bearers and Delhi Customs Preventive Zone for organizing this event and commemorating this occasion, celebrating 60 years of Indian Customs Act. Thank you.
I thank our honorable chief guest for enriching our knowledge and motivating us to strive further and beyond. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall present the mementos to our esteemed dignitaries. May I now request our Principal Commissioner, Sir, Delhi Customs Preventive, to present memento to our esteemed chief guest, Shri S.K. Agarwal, Sir, Member CBIC. May I now request Shri Rohit Kumar, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, to come on stage and present memento to Shri V.K. Chaudhary, Sir, Honorable Chief Commissioner, Customs Preventive, Delhi Zone. May I now request Dr. Dinesh Kumar Jangit, Sir, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, to come on stage and present memento to Shri Hemant Jain, Vice President, PhD CCI. May I now request Shri M.G. Sherpa, Assistant Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, to come on stage and present memento to Shri Bimal Jain, Chairman, PhD CCI. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, it is now time to propose the vote of thanks. I now request Shri Rohit Kumar Sir, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, to kindly come forward to deliver the vote of thanks. Let's welcome Shri Rohit Kumar Sir.
Thank you, Ankurita. Respected Shri S.K. Agrawal sir, Member CBIC, Shri Virendra Chaudhary sir, Chief Commissioner, Delhi Preventive Zone, Shri S.K. Rahman sir, Principal Commissioner, Delhi Preventive Commissionerate, Shri Hemant Jain, Vice President, PhD CCI, Shri Bimal Jain, Indirect Tax Committee Chairman, PhD CCI, all senior officers and all dignitaries from trade and industry. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. It gives me an immense pleasure and I feel honored today to deliver this vote of thanks for this event on behalf of Delhi Preventive Commissionerate. First of all, I would like to thank our chief guest, Shri S.K. Agrawal sir, for accepting our invitation, taking out time from his busy schedule to be with us today and sharing the experience of his journey so far. I want to especially mention here that despite the short notice, and today being DRI Day, sir not only accepted our invitation, but honored us with his presence here. Next, I extend my gratitude to our guest of honor, Shri Virendra Chaudhary sir, who conceptualized this idea to organize this event. Next, I would like to thank our another guest of honor, Shri S.K. Rahman sir, who we can say is the backbone of this event. Sir not only guided us, but extended his help in execution also till the last minute detail. Next, I would like to thank Shri Hemant Jain, who helped to culminate this idea into existence and provided a platform to interact with trade. The Custom Preventive is very thankful to you, sir, for extending your support in logistics in every manner. Next, I would like to thank Shri Bimal Jain, Chairman, who helped us in every part of execution of this event, from arranging the meeting with every kind of trade and inviting them for this event. He played a very vital role as a catalyst wherever required. He also helped us to understand the trade point of view of IGCR rules, which will actually reflect in next program. Next, I want to extend my gratitude to all senior officers present here and CEO and directors from trade for taking out their time from their busy schedule and coming here and making this event successful. Next, I would like to thank to all office bearers of PhD chambers of commerce for their support. Next, I would like to thank all members of each trade association, every person from the trade, whether he is associated with us as an exporter, importer, from EOUs, from EPCs and present here for making this event successful. We understand that it would not be possible without your participation. Next, I would like to thank all our officers, especially EPCs, headquarters, who took care of bottom line management. Our anchor Ankurita for stringing this event systematically, the press of their presence and covering this event. And last but not the least, I thank each and every person who played a vital role from the backstage like light and sound system, our catering staff, cleaning staff for their wonderful support. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Rohit sir, for the vote of thanks. May I now request our dignitaries seated on the dais and all our chief commissioners, all our commissioners to kindly proceed to the club. I would request everyone to remain calmly seated. Please be seated, everyone. I would request you to now enjoy the audio visuals that will be played on your screens. These are very informative, and this will inform you regarding the journey of customs from 1962 to till date. Thank you.
Sustainability is a buzzword today. All over the world, leaders and policymakers are working on ways to create a world that will meet the challenges of the present-day world without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their expectations. There are organizations where sustainability tops the agenda and have taken significant steps in this direction. As a responsible organization at Indian Customs, our actions speak louder than words in building a sustainable world. On this International Customs Day celebrations, we take you through various initiatives that we have undertaken to ensure that Indian Customs is fostering sustainability for people, prosperity, and the planet. Sustainability as per Indian Customs is defined in terms of 4 primary areas: economic prosperity, healthcare, environmental protection, and social issues. Facilitating trade and ease of doing business is at the core of what we believe in and do at Indian Customs. Paperless authorization, streamlining custom procedures, simplification of manufacturing process are our guiding principles that help us practice economic stability. Mahatma Gandhi famously said, "It is health that is real wealth, and not pieces of silver and gold." Guided as we are by the Mahatma's teachings, Indian Customs has been proactive in ensuring health sustainability by checking illegal trafficking of hazardous goods, narcotics, and narcotic substances. Environment and economy are 2 sides of the same coin. If we don't sustain the environment, we cannot sustain ourselves. Indian Customs is at the forefront of protection of the environment and is actively working on detecting and curbing illegal trade in chemicals and waste. Indian Customs also takes pride in combating trafficking in wildlife and narcotics. Our last but not the least important step has been promoting social sustainability. We have supported the cause of SMEs and startups to raise awareness and foster sustainability. Reducing manual interface and bringing in transparency with highest level of integrity is another focus we are actively pursuing in all our endeavors. As we move towards a fast developing world, sustainability is no longer an option, but is the only way forward. Indian Customs is committed and working tirelessly to ensure prosperity for people and sustainability for the planet. Indian Customs striving hard for sustainable development, not only for ourselves, but the whole world.
जल हो, ढल हो या हो आकाश, हर बुरी नजर को रोकने हर पल डटे हैं हम, दिन रात एक किए। जो हमसे लगी उम्मीदें हैं, कुछ देश की, कुछ आपकी भी, हर कोशिश हमने की है। एक भी मुहिम नाकाम ना हो, ना पहुंचे दुश्मन तक हथियार, नकली नोटों का वार ना हो। दुश्मन की नापाक हरकतें हरगिज कामयाब ना हो। भारतीय कस्टम्स, हर काम देश के नाम। अदृश्य उपस्थिति, दृश्य परिणाम।
India, world's fastest. Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC, has launched an Indian Customs Compliance Information Portal to provide a free, easy, and quick access to information on all customs procedures and regulatory compliance for nearly 12,000 customs tariff items. The portal can be accessed at www.cip.icegate.gov.in/CIP. For desired information, you need to follow the following steps. Enter CAPTCHA on the home page and click Proceed button. Worldwide goods are classified based on the harmonized system of nomenclature developed by the World Customs Organization. These are also known as customs tariff headings. Indian customs tariff has 8-digit codes. If you know the correct code of the goods you are interested in, click I already know the HS code tab and enter at least 4 digits of the customs tariff item of the commodity for which compliance requirement is being searched. Then click the Search tab. Or click on I don't know the HS code tab. Enter the product description in full or part and click the Suggest CTH tab. All the possible customs tariff headings with first 4 digits of the HS code entered, along with the item description, or all the customs tariff items having the product description entered will appear on the screen, from which you can select the appropriate 8-digit customs tariff item. Once the 8-digit customs tariff items is selected, a new page will open where you have to select the import or export procedures for that particular item. Select the relevant import or export procedure and click the Process Flow tab, or click No Duties tab to know duties or taxes applicable against the customs tariff item selected. Clicking on the Process Flow tab will lead you to a new page having 3 different tabs, that is, Prepare, Pre-Import, and Import. In case of import procedure selected, and Prepare, Pre-Export, and Export in case of export procedure selected. A pop-up reflecting restriction or prohibition, if any, will also be displayed. The Prepare tab provides information about the requirement and procedure of obtaining Importer-Exporter Code, Authorized Dealer Code, Goods and Service Tax Registration, registration under Export Promotion Scheme, and approval certificate to the exporter allowing to self-seal containers for export from factory premises. The Pre-Import or Pre-Export tab provides information about the requirement and procedure for obtaining ICE gate registration, requirement of documents such as basic supporting documents, overseas documents, pre-import or pre-export license, or permit or certificate, and other authorizations, LPCOs from partner government agencies, PGAs. It also provides the details of the partner government agency from which such license or permit or certificate or other authorizations is to be obtained, office address and web link of the partner government agency's website, along with specimen copy of the license or permit or certificate or other authorizations. Also, the import or export tab gives details of steps in different situations. The situations depend on the risk attributed to the imported or exported goods by the risk management system. The 4 situations for import or export are no assessment,
Ladies
no
and gentlemen,
examination,
please be seated.
no
We'll be
assessment,
starting
but
within 5
examination.
minutes.
Assessment but no examination. Assessment and examination. Based on the situations, the steps such as integrated declaration and self-assessment, payment of applicable duties, compulsory compliance verification, custom clearances will be displayed. The Compliance Information Portal also offers more useful information under separate tabs available on the home page, such as Customs Stations. By clicking, you can access information about all the customs stations such as air cargo complexes, inland container depots, land customs stations, railway stations and seaports on India map along with the corresponding contact information. Useful links. Click on this tab to get information about ministries, departments, and other regulatory agencies involved in import or export along with their web links. Other useful information. This tab contains information about import or export through posts or courier, project import, re-import or re-export of goods, customs traveler guide for passengers arriving into India or departing from India. Contact information. You can get contact information of the section of CBIC dealing with CIP. This novel trade facilitation tool will empower our business community as well as any interested person with up-to-date information on the legal and procedural requirement. India, world's fastest growing economy, favorite amongst the emerging markets. India's rapid development has opened a plethora of exciting opportunities for investors. With ease of doing business and better taxation policies, Make in India initiative is getting energized with new foreign investments, thus building an Atmanirbhar Bharat. In order to promote manufacturing and other operations in India, Government of India, through the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC, has revamped customs bonded manufacturing cum warehousing regulations, MOOWR, for manufacturing and other operations in a warehouse. The scheme works on the principle of self-assessment and is aimed at transforming India into a competitive manufacturing hub and an attractive investment destination. Based upon Section 65 of the Customs Act 1962, the scheme has clear and transparent procedures, simplified compliance requirements, and digital account keeping. This scheme, coupled with the flexibility of sourcing capital goods and inputs, and flexibility for sale, the scheme is tailored for the requirements of MSME sector. They can find most optimal sourcing of inputs and capital goods from domestic or international markets, special economic or free trade warehousing zones, and realize best sale prices by selling their products in the domestic tariff area or international market as per choice. Under the scheme, import duty and IGST on capital goods or raw materials used in manufacturing
Thank you for being patient, ladies and gentlemen. Now we shall begin with the session 2. In a significant step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs has reduced the compliances required under the Customs Import of Goods at Concessional Rate of Duty IGCRS Rules 2022 and introduced end-to-end automation of the procedure involved. Towards this end, the online portal was launched on IceGate. Importer desirous of availing exemptions linked to these rules have registered on the same and are successfully availing various benefits that it has to offer. The above rules provide for procedural safeguards to ensure that the goods imported at concessional rate of duty subject to an end-use condition are used for the purpose specified in the exemption notification. Well, based on the industry feedback, the procedures were simplified and made paperless and contactless with end-to-end automation. The changes brought will be summarized by our learned Principal Commissioner, Sir, in his presentation. May I now call upon the dais Shri S.K. Rahman, Sir, Principal Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive, for a presentation on the IGCRS rules and EOUs. Sir.
Good afternoon once again to all of you. The inaugural session is over. We are starting the technical session. Panel discussion would be there. Question answer session would be there. Before that, to set the onto one page, I will give you a brief introduction about IGCRS. The taxpayers who are here, importers, exporters, and EOS, you have been using this. But before we start the panel discussion, the basic portion of that, I thought I will just introduce to you so that all of us are on the same page and it becomes easier for you to understand when the panelists start discussing this. We have from board office, policymakers, we have system side officers who will be telling you about systems related matters, plus we have implementation side also. So I thought I'll just give you a brief presentation on this. I'm not getting into too much of details, but just to refresh your memories. If you see this import of goods under concessional rate of duty has come after 2017, because earlier we used to handle that. We, in the sense that Central Excise and Service Charge Department used to take end-use bond and we used to supervise the implementation of that. Post GST implementation from 1st July 2017, the import of goods at concessional rate rules 2017 have come into picture and we have been implementing them very smoothly by the CGST officers, by the Delhi Customs jurisdictional officers. Like you have a jurisdictional CGST officer, we have jurisdictional customs officers all over India. The rules after they have come, they have been modified. Major modification I'm saying is from 1st February 2021. In fact, their scope has been enlarged. They have become more trade friendly and some minor corrections have been made in the rules. The next major step that has happened is again, when it is automated. Earlier, we used to give the intimations manually. We used to file a quarterly statement about consumption of these raw materials and components. Then the same thing has been automated by board circular from mid-March, even though circular is from 27th February 2022, the systems has been put in place and therein we have started what is called automation. The importers who want to avail this facility will have to go one-time registration by filing IGCR 1 and take INN, it's an identification number, and the bond that they will be submitting, bond is also registered online. Now, the great advantage of this is that, please understand, there's a big trade facilitation measure that you don't have to physically visit. 2, you can use this INN and bond number for import anywhere in India. Even though you are Registered office is located in Delhi, NCR, NCT of Delhi and Haryana state. You can import at Chennai, Naushav, anywhere, you can quote the same number. Then major modification has again come from 10 September 2022, wherein they have not only brought the manufacturers, now they have brought in the traders also. They said that specified end use, if it's meant for specified end use, that is also covered under IGCR 2022. Now it has been renamed as IGCR 2017 to IGCRS 2022. Same thing I've just quoted here, various circulars and various details I mentioned here, wherein I have been saying that this process, we have given a lot of clarifications, lot of amendments have been added, lot of changes have been done. Please understand, the sign of these changes is that this government has been particularly listening to the trade voice. Any concern that is expressed by you, immediately they are reflected onto the modification in the rules, modification into the forms. This is something which is been committed by our government, by Honorable Prime Minister, that less government and more governance. We have been listening to the changes, and whatever the changes that are required have been done. In fact, comprehensive circular has been given, and not only comprehensive circular, we have given automation circular. We have also given what is called now the specified end use. What are the fields that are covered? The major clarification that have been issued are also covered out here. The clarification that they have issued is that not only for the manufacturers, for the specified end use, if you want to import certain raw materials and goods, you can do that. I'm quickly running through because panel discussion would be more beneficial to you. Here, I would also like to say that this particular expansion that has happened from 10 September is not only for the specified end use, it has also happened for the import of gold by nominated banks. It is also happened for the UAE, Indo-UAE trade agreement. So this incorporates both of them. In fact, you may be aware for IGCR S 2022, not only 50/2017 major notification, there are 5 more sets of notification that are also covered. Now with this budget, the scope has been expanded to some more serial numbers where there is a specified end use that have been mentioned. What you have to do is, whenever you import specified raw materials or components, as mentioned in these notifications, that is 50/2017 major notification, and allied another around 5 to 6 notifications, the raw materials as specified, please be careful about the tariff heading that is mentioned there in the notification and the raw materials. Only those goods only you require to import. Those are the specified raw materials and components. So utilization of these goods also is meant for manufacture into a specified output, specified finished good. That is also mentioned in the notification. Our experience, Delhi Custom Preventive Commissionerate experience for the last, I can say at least 1.5 years, is that some of the taxpayers are probably committing some mistake on this. They are not carefully noticing whether this particular raw material or component covered, because in this world of automation, in this world of self-assessment, you may knowingly or unknowingly may do a mistake, which may result in some demand of duty. So that stage we do not want to expect. Even if it comes to that stage, nothing wrong. Please come voluntarily, come forward. Our EPCs are there to help you. If any additional duty has to be paid, which you thought you are eligible, you can voluntarily declare, pay the differential duty along with interest and 15% penalty, and we can consider the proceedings under 28(6). I've also covered a few important definition of specified end use, because I remember before adding this particular provision, we ourselves have made cases 2-3 against some big importers. We said, you are supposed to consume this, you cannot give it to another person to consume this. On this very point, because notifications require strict interpretation, 2-3 cases have been made. We are very, very thankful to the vision of the board that our government has modified it, even expanded specified end use into this. The details are given here about what kind of specified end use. You are a manufacturer, you are giving commitment to us, you are giving an undertaking to us that you will transfer these goods to or sell these goods to a specified end user. He will consume that into manufacture, and you are liable to us because you are given a bond to us. All these details are there. I request, because some of the people who are attending on behalf of the industry and trade might not have read, nothing wrong, just have a look at it. Please do not completely depend upon your chartered accountant or your consultant. or your manager level. One time, these laws are very simply drafted, unless British time, they are simply one time reading will do for you. You get a fair understanding of that. Because as an industrialist, as a owner, as a MD of your company, it is good that you should know what is eligible, what is not eligible. I would like to also show you the format that has been amended, IGCR 1 format, that is required by any person in India, any person, whoever is importing anywhere for a particular financial year, it is valid. You register for one time, INN number you get, and in this modification have been done from what was the IGCR 1 that was formed earlier, especially by adding notification serial number and other details. This will be beneficial to you if you carefully read the format, fill it up online, and then get a INN number. The part B of the format also covers the details of the bond and BG to be given. Please understand conceptually that the bond you are giving, let's say for 1 crore, supported with, let's say, BG for 20 lakhs, as and when you import raw materials components, the bond amount is automatically debited. Please do not forget that BG amount also keep getting debited. The BG that you are given proportionality also gets debited into this. If you want to add up to that BG amount or bond, you can always top it up by adding up. Most important crucial portion of this is filing of your monthly return. Earlier it used to be quarterly return, used to be manually given. Now it is called IGCR 3. Right from mid-March 2022, you are supposed to file what is called IGCR 3. If you are an income tax payee, you fill up your form, CA may help you. But if you are a taxpayer who are utilizing IGCR, my sincere advice, humble advice to you is that, humble request to you is that, please have a look at it, your form. This form is very, very simply designed, thanks to board office, thanks to policy wing, thanks to DG system, that the way they have designed this format, simple reading of form will help you out. If you want me to put it in simple terms and make you understand, it asks you about what are the raw materials and components that you are importing, how much you are imported with respect to particular bill of entry. That bill of entry, that serial number is automatically populated into here. Then out of those raw materials, if how much is consumed into manufacture of finished goods. After manufacture of finished goods, those finished goods that you are after clearing, then only you mention that so and so has been consumed. If it is in stock with you, please do mention that it is in stock with you. So the equation is very simple. What you have imported minus what you have consumed plus what is available with you. It's as simple form as that you have to mention. Of course, subcategories would be there if you are giving it to specified end user. I will request one time, please have a look at the format and see. Now, another great trade facilitation measure that our CBSA has introduced is that, as you are aware, you are utilizing your bond, you are utilizing supported with a BG. As and when you consume this raw materials to manufacture finished goods, after the clearing, you are mentioning that the bond amount is recredited to you. Proportionate BG is also. Now, suppose you ran short of crediting because you get a window of 6 months to consume them. Within 6 months, either you have to consume them for manufacture of finished goods, or you can clear as such to the field by payment of duties, or you can even re-export it back if you do not require them. Either of these three will have to be, or you can send for job work, or you can send it to specified end user to ensure saying that he consumes within 6 months. By any chance, if your bond is exhausted, let's say you are a brisk manufacturer, brisk importer, then you are running short of the bond amount in between the month, because once you file your GSTR 3, then only the recredit happens. In between the month, it's a very, very great vision that board has seen that in between the month you want, you can file IGCR 3A. IGCR 3A is something which says saying that in between the month itself, you are saying that, look, I have consumed certain raw materials which I have imported, let's say 5 months before, 3 months before, I have cleared my finished goods, and this is the credit I want to have it. So when you file this IGCR 3, the officers will permit it to recredit the entire amount, whatever is the proportion amount, to your bond, so that you have sufficient liquidity and bond amount for further import of the raw materials and components. In the middle of the month, this has been added. Can you imagine to what extent the government is coming forward? Is it time when government is taking 2 steps forward to you? I request you also come 2 steps forward to shake hand with the government, take advantage of this provision. Here, when you file your IGCR 3 at the month end, this gets auto-populated into it, and it will take care about what is available with that. So that IGCR 3 that you file in between the month get changed into it. Here, after finishing about domestic industry people, I also would like to appeal to the EOU people, if you are here, that For the EOS, 52/2003 notification is there. You give a bond, you import. These are the raw materials that you have imported with a promise that you manufacture finished goods, and these finished goods are exported back. Am I correct? 100% EU means you are supposed to export them back. But there is also a provision that you need not export the finished goods, you can even clear it domestic tariff. Now, when you are clearing in domestic tariff, you are paying not only on the finished good, the GST rate applicable, you are also paying back, reversing back or pay back the BCD component that you are taking the benefit, only the BCD. If the finished good is accessible or GST payable. Suppose the finished good is exempted from GST or accessible, then you have to reverse or pay back the BCD and the IGST portion of the benefit that you're taking. This is a normal draft. But now here, if you see, the class 2 of the 52/03 also says that you shall follow the rule 5 of IGCR 2017, which is now to be read as IGCRS 2022. What does the rule 5 say? Rule 5 says that you will have to intimate about the raw materials coming, and you will have to intimate about the consumption of this. In fact, EOS, you are aware that this is a link between EOS and the domestic unit, because you are clearing them into some of the goods into domestic market. This particularly EOUs, they file a monthly statement under a board circular in which you do mention that this is the raw materials are imported, this is the raw materials are consumed, and these are the finished goods. Out of finished goods, so many have exported, so many have cleared in the domestic. You mentioned them. You don't have to file IGCR 3, but you have to follow Rule 5 of IGCRS 2022. Please do remember this. We at the implementation side have been interacting with you every Saturday. I believe, I hope all of you know. Yes or no? Every Saturday we are having a meeting with you. Every Saturday, many of you don't come, but still we have patience to come to you. My EPC officers are here, all of my officers, and myself, every Saturday I'm there online with you at 11 o'clock. We have WhatsApp group for those people from board who would like to mention. Please do mention it to board officers and other commissioners in the country also. We have our excellent assistant commissioners here, of each of them. They have a WhatsApp group within the EPC Rohtak Cash System WhatsApp group, 24/7. Any doubt that they are raising, immediately our officers are able to answer them. Every Saturday, I mean, they started from 1st March 2022. From the time our Honorable FM has said that Saturdays you should have a trade interaction meeting. We have given a break in April and May, but we reassumed it and continued because the rules are changing so fast, or the provisions are being added so fast that we didn't want any violation by you. And we never penalize them. Till now, we never put any penalty upon you. We always said that beyond 6 months is over by these items, you will have to pay duty. We invited you for 28/6 and we have done. So here I am saying that the changes that are meant for EOS, because we have seen many people EOS are not having clarity, are not able to understand this. The very purpose of this trade interaction meeting is to educate you, is to empower you. See, as a law enforcer, we are trade facilitator also. We want to create an environment saying that where you understand and what you will implement them at safely at your stage, so that there is no error that happens, there is no interest and penalty that you require to pay. These are the various provisions which are specifically mentioned about Rule 5 to be followed by EOS. My dear taxpayers from EOS, please do make a note of this and ensure saying that they are done. I have mentioned few points for discussion. I do not want to get through because my very experienced officers are going to have panel discussions here, but there are certain issues that are coming up. Board office is aware, and we have raised time and again with the systems directed people also. She is here and she is aware of these issues. And these issues are sometimes are bothering, especially about EOUs. Because had it been complete EOUs and the DTA into this also is a different matter, but there are certain issues that are still there. Because believe me, the journey is never complete. Believe me, the learning is never complete. We are learning, you are learning, we are joining hands together and do. Without taking much of your time, I would like to say just 1 or 2 sentences, because I feel that India, as you have seen post-COVID, is recovered faster than many economies, which you believe. I believe, I hope you also see that. Because who recovered? It's not the department, it is you who have recovered. It is the resilience of the industry that you have shown that you have come back. And believe me, 2023-24 are going to be crucial years for India. Very, very crucial years. If you want to have Atmanirbhar, if you want to get into top 5 economies of the country, it is you who will have to contribute and do. We are really creating an environment. We are only giving, this kind of seminars, webinars, trade interaction meetings, only to help you, only to handhold you. Believe me, if you come forward and join us, many of our officers were hesitant, but we have made that very friendly to you. We are one of the stakeholders. So take advantage of this. Whatever department has come, at least in my experience, I'm telling to so far to bend backwards to accommodate you. If you take advantage, join us, I'm very sure India will become economic superpower as visualized by many in the country. And I also caution you that if these 2-3 years, if we make it, we'll be there. Either you make it or break it. There's no, in between them. If we work hard together, both from department and trade, we can be into the top superpowers, economic superpowers of the world. If we miss it, believe me, in under 20 years, we will never be. So kindly, I request all of you to cooperate with the department, understand if there is any omission of error that has happened in a right spirit. I call them, Anant, you may believe. I call to my chamber, many of the taxpayers. I explain to them as a principal commissioner level, my own joint commissioner, join them in convincing them, saying that, look, this has happened. You people run to consultants. You ask them to do something. Consultants are good. I'm not saying no, but they always, they always. Some of them may give you comfort of saying that not to pay. Believe me, better to pay, get rid of this rather than, to dispute with us. We never want any disputes to continue. We always want a good and friendly relationship with you. So with those few words of trade facilitation, I take leave here. I call my experts to come and discuss with you. I'm available here. I will also supplement if any question answers are there. I would like to thank each and every person who has come here for giving, taking out his professional and personal time to come here. I would like to thank, officials from board and DZ systems who have come here. Thank you and take advantage of this. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Honorable Principal Commissioner, sir, for such elaborate and informative presentation. May I now invite upon stage Shri Bimal Jain, Chairman, PhD CCI, for his presentation on the difficulties and challenges in the IGCR and by the EOUs. Sir.
At the outset, let me greet and thank all officials from CBIC, DigiSystem, Policy Bing, from trade and industry, and tax professional. Rahman sir, rest assured, we all are sitting here to make it. Am I right in saying so? We are all here. And don't say that we are not the partner in nation building and growth. We are. And as a tax professional, let me say, because I'm also a tax professional, we never advise any client for the tax evasion. Of course, for interpretation, we may have a fight. You may have your own interpretation, and I have my own interpretation. And I will touch base those points in because 15 minutes slotted to me for challenges in IGCRS. I will show those pointers to you. Improvised version in IGCRS, but still there are certain points which is still requires clarity. But before I touch base IGCRS, let me first celebrate this Customs Act 1962, 60 years. If you look at this table, then basically we started from 1786. First time Board of Revenue was established at Calcutta. And 1962 Custom Act was made 60 years, a big celebration for all of us together. Custom Act is a multi-purpose act regulating import and export of goods, levy and collection of duty, penalties for certain specified offenses, and most importantly, protecting domestic industry from dumping. So high regards for that. So I'm not running into what we have seen last 60 years, but definitely appreciation, those who drafted Custom Act 1962. Appreciation to each of the officer who legislated and executed. So they deserve a big round of appreciation from all of us together. In a process, lot of improvement, 24/7 custom clearance, can we think of? 24/7 adoption of DSC, digital signature. We got faceless assessment. Faceless is a good argument, but there would be some of the aggrieved importer that they are not being given opportunity to make out their point. And of course, RMS, risk management system, appreciated. If you look at some of the important aspect which is being taken up by Honorable Finance Minister, decriminalization, and which is being discussed, certain specified offenses. And these are good steps to provide ease of business, trade facilitation, 100%. But some of the point which I would like to draw here, that we are on custom server also, and there is DGFT server. And there are a lot many points which comes to my mind where we need integration. And what are those pointers? I can start with that shipping bill, which is being processed through custom server, it should go automatic to DGFT server and bank, because sometimes if data is not matching, export benefit are being denied. Come to export incentive license, which is issued by DGFT, need to be registered with custom department. So the taxpayer has to go from one pillar to another pillar. Why can't it be integrated? And these are constructive suggestions on the eve of 60 years of Customs Act 1962. Cancellation of bond and LUT, which is there with the custom department under EPCG. We have to get EODC certificate, export obligation discharge certificate from DGFT, then we have to submit to the custom authority. Why can't we include a particular clause? I'm giving food for thought. When we are thinking so much of trade facilitation, these can be integrated. And even for the self-sealing, standardization of documentation. Why jurisdictional authority would be demanding different kind and different set of documentation? Nevertheless, I'm going to highlight 3 important pointers here, sir. Classification is the issue which you will find traveling to Supreme Court. Even in custom, we have seen classification. Now, when I'm comparing with GST, last 5 years, under GST goods rate notification, there is specific mention explanation 3 and 4 in goods rate notification. They're going to follow. What is the tariff heading, tariff item, subheading, chapter note, section note of first schedule of Custom Tariff Act for all interpretation of GST goods rate notification. Sir, I'm telling you today as on date, when I'm importer, I'm giving you example. BCD applied as if I'm importing parts and component. But for IGST rate notification, the same benefit has not been given, and it is being considered as a residue entry. I'm only saying if it is being stated in the goods rate notification, either be CGST or SGST or IGST, they're going to follow the tariff heading, subheading, section note, chapter note, explanatory note of first schedule of Custom Tariff Act. Lot of litigation, sir. I know that within GST from 1st April 2021, there's a mention 4-digit HSN code if aggregate turnover is less than 5 crore. B2B. More than 5 crore, 6-digit, but for import and export, it is 8-digit. But problem is that when first schedule of Custom Tariff Act, which is being considered in goods rate notification, why it is not being considered religiously, classification. Coming to the second point, sir, valuation. Again, there are many issues on valuation when you look at the custom import. But one thing which I'm highlighting from custom and income tax, I'm a related party. I'm importing goods. Custom department will always look at to increase the price and to get maximum custom duty. And what income tax authority will do, related party transfer pricing, he will try to reduce the price, increase the profitability and get more income tax. Transfer pricing should be same for both the department, be it custom department, be it income tax department. And this particular representation, at least I can vouch for last 3 years, I'm representing in pre-budget memorandum, related party transaction. Coming to the third component, we all are struggling with imbalance of trade. Import is higher, export is not improving. And another challenge is definition of export of goods versus export of services. Export of goods, settled one, goods taken from India to a place outside India. But for services, we are having different interpretation. I am serving to a foreign client, research and development. Take an example. I'm doing research and development in India. A foreign customer reaching to me for research and development. I'm undertaking research and development for him and giving the report to him. It is being used by foreign client only. I paid in convertible foreign exchange, but it is not export of services. Place of supply. It is used by foreign client, convertible foreign exchange coming into the country, but still it is not being considered export of services. Intermediary, sales promotion. So we have to find out wage and means. We have to find out wage and means where we can create synergy and improve export because we are getting convertible foreign exchange in the country. So these are the 3 broad points I thought I should draw your attention. Coming to the alternative of import. We got SEZ, we got EOU. Sometimes we are left out with the stock, finished stock. And we are not being able to export for either or region. And this is the budget proposal which I given in pre-budget memorandum, that if concessional, which we are referring to, we can also apply on removal of finished goods for the home consumption. Advantage 1, being concessional, full duty will not come. To the extent of value addition, don't charge. Only on raw material component, whatever advantage I got, charge that one. On value addition, you should not charge. And with this process, whatever goods are left out with SEZ unit or EOU will go to the domestic market, alternative to import. And next, convertible foreign exchange is not going out of the country. Maybe we can think on those lines on a wiser note. And this is suggestion once again. Coming to IGCRS, undoubtedly, and let me compliment you and your whole team, including CBIC and government. The way improvised version is there in new avatar. I must compliment in new avatar. This import of goods at concessional rate of duty for specified use. Just think of earlier there was a restriction that it is only for the importer who has to use for a specified purpose. But now trading is permissible. Services are permissible. And prior intimation, you have to generate IGCR identification number. And continuity bond with surety and security, you have to only fill up your IIN with the continuity bond number at the time of import and at any port. These are all automation. You have given the facility of job work, inter-unit transfer, and even trading purpose to the last party for the specified usage. Real advantage. And automation on system, IGCR 1, which is prior intimation, IGCR 2 for non-receipt and short receipt of raw material imported, IGCR 3, which is monthly, earlier it was quarterly. It is monthly. And then IGCR 3A, in between, you can always fill up and get your bond account recredited. Though amendment to the bond is permissible. So these are the basic advantages which I have drawn down, but now coming to the challenges. And I should be taken as a constructive feedback which I'm offering to you on IGCRS. First point, sir, applicability. IGCRS, it is being stated as per Rule 2, this notification provides for observance of these rules, semicolon, and there's no and or. And then they're saying in clause B, importer intends to avail the benefit. Yeah, importer intends to avail the benefit of any notification. And such benefit is dependent upon use of goods imported, being covered by that notification for the manufacture of any commodity, so manufacture, provision of output service, and being put to a specified end use, 3 broad parameters. Now the question which is coming out, whether this clause A and clause B applicable simultaneously or in isolation. Why I'm raising this concern? For the reason which is cited in the next slide. Rule 3, sub-rule M, it's talking about definition of specified end use. And circular which is being issued on 10th of September 2022, it is suggesting that any exemption notification under section 25 subsection 1, that may be 50/2017, that may be notification of advance authorization, that may be notification for project import, that may be notification for goods imported for repair, reconditioning. These notifications are having built-in condition, but there's nothing written observance of IGCRS rules. Now, by reading this, the problem which trade is facing, they may have imported under 50/2017 having some restriction end use. Are they supposed to really observe IGCRS rules also? This is the point which is coming out. Sir, this is the point which is debated at length. I'm just throwing these pointers for clarity today. So if I'm adhering to the condition of that particular notification and there's nothing written, observance of IGCRS rule, then I need not require to. I should only adhere to such conditions of that exemption notification. This need clarity. 1 point. Coming to the second point, sir, job work and inter-unit transfer. Well appreciated. This new IGCRS rules 2022 is permitting job work and inter-unit transfer. Well said. And disclosures need to be made in monthly return. Goods can be kept at the job worker premises. But the rule is saying follow the procedure under GST law for supply of goods under an invoice. I'm saying that when I'm sending to my job worker, I never raise an invoice. I raise delivery challan. And at ground, when we are dealing with the officer, it should not be debated. They must understand the meaning of this invoice is mean to delivery challan, because when I'm sending to my job worker, I'm not supplying in GST perspective. Subsequently, job worker has to maintain all accounts, produce the details whenever required by jurisdictional custom officer, and send the processed goods to the importer or to another job worker within a period of 6 months. Now, here are some of the pointers, sir. IGCR is talking about 6 months, but GST law talking about 1 year for input and 3 years for capital goods. So we are also trying to understand when this rule got drafted and they're saying we need to follow the GST provision, why this period was not considered. Maybe you may have some, backup in your mind for what region this was not considered. Otherwise, it is stated as per GST law, 6 months. Next, from my job worker premises, can I really export to my ultimate customer outside India? Provision is not saying so. It is saying it should be coming back to the importer. No, you can always see. I'm just some of the pointers. See, first of all, I should not be considered as a critics today. We are into trade facilitation. Some of the observation I got from trade members, and I'm the party to you. Believe me. And I really appreciate. I can't think of WhatsApp group for the taxpayers. And that Rahman sir is running. He is the person, believe me, I'm making this statement today. He is the only person which I've seen in my throughout career. Let me say upfront, he's such a dynamic, always receptive and willing to listen. There may be challenges within the law. If I'm also saying something, I'm saying from the taxpayer side, maybe you can always correct us, and that is how we have to go together. And that is called Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. We are celebrating 75th Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and today auspicious day, DRI day, and 60 years celebration of custom law. What could be, this is the biggest occasion, and whatever pointers I'm making, constructive suggestion, no criticism, believe me, no criticism. And I will be the first person to come to say that this is what, 6 months, you will also agree with me, GST law say 1 year for input and 3 years for capital goods. Okay. Now, when I'm saying 6 months, there's another challenge that we may have imported goods prior to 10 September 2022. And that time, this period was not there. Period was there? It was not there. Period was there 6 months. What about taxpayer? Can you sound it? So now the change provision is 6 months. So are you going to follow the new 6 months criteria for past import? So on cut-off date, 10 September, you may have a stock, running stock, which is having a longer time period. Now, do you want to curtail it to the 6 month? Little clarity. And can I export directly from my job worker premises? Even in case of inter-unit transfer, well said, and this is what a good provision, that importer can send to their own unit, no problem. But can they really export from that recipient unit directly instead of taking it back? Because that has got logistic and commercial. Now, having said that, I'm going to next slide. Challenges that security and surety continuity bond equal to differential custom duty. But there's one particular, this representation which I got, which I would like to draw your attention, that Indian Custom EDI system issued an advisory 9/2022 dated 10 June 2022, wherein it is specified that continuity bond is required for an amount equal to assessable value. So this is going in contradiction. So maybe a clarity needed on this particular point. Coming to the next 6 months criteria. The 6 months criteria is little, we are requesting only as a feedback, it can be extended. It should be aligned with the GST law or certain approval mechanism, auto approval mechanism. Like in eBay bill, in GST, when it is expiring, you can put in your details and it gets automatically extended. If that kind of system can be brought under IGCRS. There are another challenge, sir. This IIN, which is given, IGCR identification number is being given. It is pure GST number. So one GST number, one IIN. But there may be a case, I'm having 10 units in the state of Uttar Pradesh, but one GST number. So I would be given only one IIN. Now, all 10 units at different places having different jurisdictional authority importing under IGCRS. For them, it is a challenge. They are saying if at all we need to adhere and comply with the provision IIN-wise, then I should be given 10 separate IIN even under same GST number, which is not the case as on date. And that will help them because they have to give consolidated bank guarantee if one IIN. But with respect to 10 unit, even compliances is getting complicated. Only suggestion, if this can be worked out separately. Coming to the system challenges, sir. I'm not saying this is the general for all of us together, but we are facing, some of the taxpayers are facing this problem. So DG system can comment on whether these problems are there today or not. In case of incomplete data transmission on IGCR common portal, Importer not able to correct and amend the said information. Some of the taxpayer in pre-budget memorandum, we have taken the input and they have given this suggestion. That's the reason it is in my compilation. Duty foregone details are incorrectly mapped in some of the cases. If you want, we can take the input from the concerned trade members and provide back to you. Mapping of consumption data not yet considered, not yet considering opening quantity of past import. Jurisdictional authority insisting on a manual submission, even though we are on automation. So these are the challenges from system perspective, but 2-3 things which is still coming out, which I have not compiled, but food for thought, that my prior intimation is only demanding data pertaining to job worker. What about inter-unit, recipient unit, or when I'm trading and sending to a customer for specified usage? These data is not required as on date on the system. But maybe over a period of time, when you want to monitor the same, you'd be looking for those information. The last and foremost submission, sir, you said in your opening remarks that you are coming forward today. We are doing program for IGCRS. For EOU, you referred about Rule 5 of IGCRS 2022. Even EOU automation can also be done on IceGate instead of manual. Yes, it is a work in progress. We are working, and over a period of time, it will improve upon. And last and foremost, because we'll start the panel discussion, sir, first, we are equally responsible as you are. And we will work back to back, soldier to soldier with the tax department. PSD CCI is vocal about, we want to really adhere and do the compliances. This program, you have chosen PSD CCI for what region? You really thought PSD CCI very active. And they are doing all these programs. So all the members will agree with me that we really want to see India is prospering, growing, and definitely we will make it. That is for sure, I can tell you. And last and foremost, being PSD CCI, tax department is doing their part, but being tax professional, we are also doing our good part to represent India. And I said offline that tonight I'm visiting Singapore to participate into Exchange Summit. And my presentation going to be e-invoicing in India. They invited me for presenting. They could have invited any government officials, but they have chosen a trade person to tell them how e-invoicing got implemented in India. So I'm going to present India. So I'm back to back with you, soldier to soldier with you. So rest assured, we will do everything possible. We will do everything possible to see India is growing, prospering, and we really want to see India is on top on the world map. With this, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bimal Jain, sir, for the informative presentation. Now I would like to invite our esteemed panelists for panel discussion on the dais. I would request Shri R. Anantha, sir, Deputy Secretary, Customs Policy Wing, CBIC, Madam Chaya Boyar, Joint Director, DG Systems, IceGate, Shri Rohit Kumar, sir, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate, and Shri Pramod Rai, sir, Managing Partner, Athena Laws. I would request Shri Bimal Jain, sir, to take the dais and continue with the panel discussions.
So once again, let me tell you, this is the panel discussion, but this is the actual program for which you are gathered today. We're going to discuss many things, cross-questioning, and we will be looking for clarity from each of the panelists. Then question answer. So rest assured, whatever query you got pertaining to IGCRS or EOU related, rest assured, pose your questions. And as I said, we are here to discuss and interact together. Objective is to get the maximum advantage of officer being present here. I was mesmerized to just listen to Rahman sir WhatsApp group. That too for the clarification. And when these officers are present today, then definitely we have to get all clarity and we have to get all the answers of queries, whatever you have in your mind. So without taking much time, let me introduce each of the panelists because I got brief profile also. So let me read it. And you should not hesitate and you should not be miser. For the region, you should give them a big round of applause first of all. So big round of applause to all the 4 panelists. इस पे तो टैक्स नहीं लगेगा. देखिए लाइटर करना है. We have to enjoy this panel discussion. और बिना हिंदी का तड़का लगे मजा नहीं आता. तो पैनल डिस्कशन में फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस श्री आर Anant, Deputy Secretary, Custom Policy Wing. So policy related, he's going to say everything to us, but he is a 2009 IRS officer and currently posted at Department of Revenue as a Deputy Secretary, Custom CBIC. So just think of a position and you may have a lot of answers today. So he is going to talk about issues relating to policy matter in IGCRS 2022. So I will come back to him. Let me introduce other panelists as well. Ms. Chaya Bohar, Joint Director, DG System, IceGate. So she is 2010 batch IRS officer and currently posted as a Joint Director, DG System, IceGate. So a lot of system related point, ma'am. So we will come back to you pertaining to system related, where importer and exporter are looking for certain clarity. Sri Rohit Kumarji, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Custom Preventive Commissionerate. Again, he's a 2010 IRS batch officer, currently posted as a Joint Commissioner of Custom Preventive Delhi. And today he will take us through the taxpayer and stakeholders problem faced by the taxpayer and stakeholders for implementation while working under IGCRS rule. And we got Sri Advocate Pramod Kumar Rai. He was earlier IRS, but now he's on our side, tax professional. And I'm sure he is advising all correctly to all of us together. So again, he's a very learned, dynamic, experienced tax expert. Mr. Rai is engineering graduate from IIT Kanpur, holds a gold medal in law LLB. He has completed his LLM from USA as well. So from trade side, we are going to bother you that are we complying or not, or whether you are giving correct advice or not. All right, so without taking much time, let me start with Sri R. Anand. Sir, policy related, a lot of things which I raised in my deliberation. So maybe you can start when you were drafting this IGCRS 2022 policy related, how things happen, where we have moved, and some of the pointers which I gave to you. What is your observation? Take your own time and please, floor is yours.
Thank you. Senior officers, trade and industry, good afternoon to everybody. So I'll just be brief so that we'll have more time for discussion. So when we were, IGCR is a unique scheme. IGCR as a procedure existed for a long time, but this has been revamped in the recent times when government was discussing on incentivizing Atmanirbhar Bharat. So, when there are a lot of discussions which are happening relating to, high import duty for temporary goods, but, we can't have import duties for manufacturers. How do we exempt those goods for manufacturers while, prohibiting the trading goods was a question, and the answer was IGCR. Because, it And it is also gelling very closely with the government's PLI program, which is product linked incentive. So when government has PLI program and want to promote certain industries, so then there are also some exemption notifications which comes, and it says these are the raw materials which can be imported and you can produce these goods. So these are very, very interlinked, much thought out scheme. And that is how, in the recent 2-3 years, you can see that IGCR, the scope of IGCR, the number of notifications having observance of IGCR rule is also increasing. But of course, due to this thing. So that is how the IGCR rules also have been revamped. And when it wants to have many people to comply with it, it has to be an automated process. That is the genesis of having a complete automated process, having a true intention. Let us say the intimation before you import a goods was always there, but it was never an intimation in paper era, because when you intimate, then at least they have to give an acknowledgement. Then when you go to port of import, how do you know that whether the goods were the certificate you are carrying it were genuine or not? So port of import used to write back to the jurisdictional office to get, so all those paperworks were there. And secondly, if you see the IGCR earlier, before this amendment made, there used to be a transaction based intimation. So all those led to more cumbersome procedure which was being done through paper, and there are a lot of visits to an office which is required for compliance. I'm not saying that it is there, but of course, leveraging the technology which CBSE has been doing in many other things, we had completely automated it so that you have to intimate. It is a true sense of intimation, and a lot of transaction wise procedures have been done away with. So that is the reason why quarterly returns have been made monthly. But if you see the every transaction, let us say when you earlier IGCR was saying when you get your goods, you have to intimate. When you send it for job work, you have to intimate. So all those intimations have been done away with in everything. Of course, it has been replaced with a monthly return. So this was a very basic thing. Of course, coming back to the very recent thing, I'll just say, because when February 2022, when these amendments came and it was automated, I got a call from Rahman sir. He was very forward looking. He said, of course, in a later part of time, you have to amend your rules to include specified purpose also. Of course, then a lot of need arose, and then we had to come out with an amendment in September itself to add it. But I should say how Rahman sir is one who takes feedback, who sees what is the thing, and then applies to it. So that's one I just have to mention it here. And specified end use is one where having a very perfect, having a good robust system where we could even expand it, your compliance to products which are not only for manufacturing but even for the specified end use. But coming back to the the clarifications or the questions which are posed, it is both conditions put together. So like advance authorization or other things, we don't have to follow IGCR. It is purely when the notification says that there should be an observance. So unless it is specified, of course people need not be worried. You will need not follow IGCR. So only when the notification benefit says observe IGCR, you should do it. That is very clear. And if at all we made it, try to cover it in the circular also. Of course, if there is no clarity, we can always come out with other things. And again, on job worker, we have said in the rule invoice or e-waybill, which means that it is not only in invoice. Of course, it should be covered by e-waybill, because there could be a lot of modes is there. So you could give back an clarification. The rule says invoice or e-waybill. So it could be an invoice, or minimum it should be an e-waybill. And we have taken this CGST rules so that we don't want new document to be created. So it's a one government thing. So we say that the document which is raised, invoice or e-waybill, which is required is there, but the time limit is as given in the customs notification, nothing relating to the job work as per the GST. So that is a thing. Probably rest of the things we can discuss while we go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, then my suggestion and submission would be that when you clearly saying unless it is stated observance of IGCRS rules, then need not required. A circular. Because this is the questions which I'm getting from the taxpayer only, importer only. So maybe a circular add-on clarifying that. Coming on job worker, invoice or eBay bill. For the information, invoice or delivery challan with eBay bill. eBay bill is there in both the cases. So eBay bill is not the only standalone document. When I'm sending to my job worker, there has to be delivery challan with eBay bill. So maybe to that aspect you can look into. And third, for the time related, though you are looking at CGST rule for all GST law application, only time was mismatching. So I thought of drawing your attention. You can see later and come back with the correction, with the permission of the CBIC only. Now I'm going to invite Ms. Chaya, and she has played an important role in designing, developing, programming, and for implementation and maintenance of custom-related automated system in IceGate. So as a taxpayer, we are having a lot of things on IceGate, and we always come back with a lot of issues and corrections. She is also among us today to address the issues being faced by the importer and exporter relating to automation or system related to IGCRS rule 2022. So initially I want she can throw some light, and then later on we can carry forward with our question answers.
A very good afternoon to all. I really want to thank Shri Rahman sir for organizing such an event where board, the NDG systems and the executive commissionerate is coming together for discussing the issues faced by the EXIM trade. So on IceGate, we are always doing our part on the directions from board for automation of all the manual processes which are there in customs, and even further improving upon the already existing automation which are there on IceGate or customs integrated system. So first of all, I would like to take up the issues which Mr. Jan has raised with respect to, apart from IGCR, there is the issue related to automatic transmission of shipping bill to DGFT and RBI. So I would like to place on record that this is already being done automatically. All the records, shipping bill records, are being forwarded to DGFT and RBI. We are fully integrated with them. So there is no manual sending of details to DGFT and RBI. So it is already there. Second, manual registration of licenses at EDI port. So with respect to this, I would like to say that there are various licenses which are issued by DGFT, and most of the licenses have been we have been integrated with DGFT. All the licenses are being transmitted from DGFT to IceGate to EDI system, and very few licenses are left, which also will be brought under this integration. So I think in after some time, all 100% license integration would be there with DGFT. With respect to EODC, this EODC also we have integrated with DGFT, and we are getting EODC details electronically from DGFT. So there is no requirement of exporter or the SSC to submit manual EODC, and we are working on EODC inquiry on our portal also, wherein user will be able to view the status of his EODC certificate on IceGate. Now I will come to IGCR. Yes, we have implemented it in April, and the module was working. There was some glitches initially, and we have been successful in resolving many issues which were faced by the users, but still there are some which are majorly related to returns. So our teams are working and will take up those issues one by one during the discussions. And with respect to the recent circular which has been issued with respect to IGCRS, so we will be working on IGCRS, where we will be bringing IGCR 3A for users. So it is not there currently, but I think in coming months, it will be made available to the users. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Of course, I got some more list. I will come back a little later. So inviting other panelists, none other than Sri Rohit Kumar. And I've seen during few days interaction, Rahman sir like him most. And he is the backbone for this particular seminar today. So all compliment and thanks to him. He is presently holding important charge of Groups and Export Promotion Center and actively involved in implementation of IGCRS. So many outreach programs which is referred by Rahman sir for the taxpayer are being held on every Saturday under his supervision. So he deserves a big round of appreciation. So see, officer is making sure that through WhatsApp you are getting answer what best we can expect as a taxpayer. WhatsApp is so, if group, only thing when we are having fear in mind, we don't come forward. But otherwise he's willing that you should come forward. So it is highly advisable we should use such platform and get our answer which we are looking for. He is also here today and he is attending a lot of queries, but I would like to understand from him that what kind of queries he's handling from the taxpayer and stakeholders and pertaining to IGCRS rules. I have referred a number of things today, but he can add on in case he has come across and he has resolved during this implementation of IGCRS 2022. Rohitji.
Good afternoon to all of you. I don't know why Vimalji is appreciating so much and why the all focus he wants to make upon me only. I'm the executive, I'm playing a role of executives only. The policies are made by the policy section and policy section, what policy makes, then it is implemented through system by the DG system. I am the only, from the preventive commissionerate, we simply execute them. And all the, you can say your blames and everything comes on us, why you are not doing this thing, that thing. So we being as a custom preventive executive commissionerate, we are not that person. So let me introduce ourselves. I am here as a representative of Custom Preventive Commissionerate. We are having jurisdiction of Delhi and Haryana, and we are for what purpose we are here to talk about the implementation of IGCR. As we all know, we have come to this era. We have recently launched new IGCR rules in September only. And on that, my EPCs are working hard. They are self-sealing permissions they are giving, and whatever the problems you guys are facing. So I think they are addressing regularly. For that, we are regularly conducting webinars and all. And every Saturday, we prompt trade to come to join us, and we try hard to address their queries and everything. So I believe we can do, if we can do much more than you can advise us, sir, that you can do in this manner and that manner. So we are always ready to help you. So this is it from my side. Let's have some more discussion.
Rohitji, if we are appreciating you, it is appreciation for your efforts and actions which you're taking for the taxpayer and stakeholders. I'm also appreciating Mr. R. Anand, Ms. Chaya also. It's not like that I'm not appreciating. We are appreciating, that's the reason you all are here, and we are doing trade facilitation from both the sides. So rest assured, it's appreciation to all of you. And today when we will go, we'll make a big clap for all of you only, because you people are making trade easy of business for us. So appreciation goes to all of you only. So coming back to Mr. Pramod Kumar Rai, he has worked as an IRS officer. Excuse me. Yeah. Mr. Rai has worked as an IRS officer, just think a combination. And as well as senior standing counsel for CBIC in Delhi High Court. Now he's on our side. So most importantly, what I would request him, how he sees transition of IGCR 2017 to IGCRS 2022. What you see, what is better off for the trade?
Good afternoon. See, IGCRS is a procedural law. And procedural law for what? India has got certain focused schemes. Like we want India to become a hub for solar manufacturing. So how we are going to promote that? So we say, okay, certain raw materials, if it is used for manufacturing of solar cells and modules, you can import at a lesser rate of duty or nil rate of duty, because we want to promote solar manufacturing. But same inputs like aluminum framing material, same inputs, if you are not using for that specified purpose, we do not want to give any concession. That is the genesis of end use based concessional rate of duty notification. There are other notifications where certain inputs are unconditionally exempt, irrespective of the usage. So wo iske bahar ho. So these procedural laws are very important to achieve those targets. Any cumbersome approach in implementation of this procedural law will choke your focused schemes. So it's a smooth implementation is very much required. Hemant Jain, our Vice President, he talked about FTA, etc. See, trade की जो expectation है वो अनंत है. हम तो चाहते हैं कोई regulation ना हो. Trade, जो हो नहीं सकता है. But yes, जो trade की desire है, that must be communicated. And then only we can put pointers and government can discuss. If you do not address those concerns, then they will never be addressed. So one trade says, okay, you increase customs duty on imports. Yes, we are member of WTO. We have given certain commitment. There are bound rates. We can't increase duty just like that. Then there are international commitment. We have signed FTA, etc. But there are certain concerns. What Hemant Jain was pointing to. Whenever we issue a notification, we must keep in mind, if the product is manufactured in India, and if the same product is imported from outside India, will the incidence of duty will be more if it is manufactured in India? If that happens, it means we are discouraging our own domestic manufacturing. There are a couple of instances, like until now, solar modules. You import 0 BCD. But if you manufacture in India, there are a lot of inputs which attract customs duty. Even today, that I'm giving solar sector example because that is going through a big turmoil. Somebody is manufacturing solar panels. So on sales, we have a 25% BCD. That translates into 15% of the panels manufactured in India. But if somebody is importing, we went through the project import regulations where the duty was 5%. Now it has been amended, that has been taken care of. So why the concerns are being given to government and that is being changed. So this discussion must be there. In no circumstances, the net incidence of duty on imports should be lesser than if the same product is manufactured. Of course, government cannot reduce direct cost of my raw material. I'm talking from trade perspective. they cannot increase my selling price because I'll be in a position to compete if I'm able to sell at a high price and my cost is less. But the regulatory mechanisms, they have a big role to play. The cost is not just cost of raw material per se. The cost is also of cost of regulation. If you work in a heavily regulated atmosphere, my gestation period goes up. I have to touch 15 different people. And think we are not working in an ideal condition. See, the atmosphere which prevails on this dais and in this hall is totally different compared to when you visit customs with a direct transaction in hand. When you are importing, the consignment has landed. You are facing some investigation. And I compliment to Mr. Bimal Jain. He pointed out invoice and delivery challan and the applicability. Yes, neither and is written there, nor or is written there. So when there is some investigation, they say, look, why I should treat it as or? Why I should treat it as and? It's not written there. So the way it suits, investigating agencies start interpreting. So why we give clarification, we have to keep that in mind. Is there a person in the department who will say, even if the notification does not prescribe for observance of these rules, still you have to follow this because and is not mentioned there. To put that in correct perspective, yes, we need a circular where we say no, and. Similarly, invoice. You have not raised invoice, you have issued delivery challan. And then they say, look, you have violated. Have you issued invoice? The answer is no. What it says, invoice, he will issue a so-cause notice. I'm sure it will get dropped. But at what cost? Then we are seeing departmental adjudication. Irrespective of the merit, mechanically, most of the so-cause notices are getting confirmed. Then you have to deposit. Your further working capital is blocked. So from that perspective, yes, a lot of things needs clarification. Now coming back to these rules. So this is a great progress towards ease of doing business. So when I compare with previous rules, physically, you have to get procurement certificate from the jurisdictional custom officer. And for every transaction, they were visiting custom officer for that procurement certificate. So if you visit one time, if you visit 10 times, there are cost implications. And cost is, I'm not talking just of corruption, etc. That is also there. Petrol cost. You have to use your vehicle. So logistic cost. Sometime you go there, he said the officer is not there, he's on leave. Somebody has been given charge, somebody has been given additional charge. So see, we cannot, it's very difficult to expect change of hearts. कि लोग अच्छे हो जाएंगे और सब अच्छा साधु बन के काम करेंगे, नहीं होता है. But yes, with more use of technology, yes, we can become fairer. So when we design a system, when we eliminate human interface, we use more of technology, you are eliminating all those costs related with regulation. So now you have to give a one-time declaration under new rules. I think that is a big ease of doing business. Your bond will get automatically debited and automatically credited when you file IGCR 3, etc. So that is a big benefit. So in these new rules, there are benefits at 3 levels. One, new subject matter has been included. Earlier, the facility was available only for actual user. Importer must use the imported item. Now, traders are also included. You can import and you can give it to somebody else who is going to use it for a specified purpose. So there is a subject matter expansion. Then it is becoming faceless, use of technology. Your regular visit to custom department, that is getting reduced. So that is another advantage. From the department perspective, is it bad or good? Is it that they have given too much to the trade and in turn they are losing? Because why we need regulation? If you do not regulate, then the process gets abused. People will import and they will divert the material. So I believe under the new rules, it is easier for department also to monitor. I have come across many cases when physical procurement certificates were issued, they were forged because there is no specimen signature of each and every officers present in the country with the customs. So he comes with a procurement certificate, imports and disappears. Now, since it is system driven, the possibility of forging is getting reduced. Plus, the custom is having a real-time information. The moment import takes place at the port, immediately the information is transferred to jurisdictional officer. So information is on a real-time basis, and your investigation tools. There is no compromise on investigation tools. He has to maintain record on demand. He has to provide all this information. So wherever there is a doubt, you can always investigate and you can catch the culprits. So from department perspective, as well as from trade perspective, this is a big facilitator. There are certain pinpoints which we have pointed. We hope that will be addressed. Thank you.
प्रमोद जी, हमारे वाइस प्रेसिडेंट हेमंत जी ने ये नहीं कहा कि रेगुलेशन नहीं होना चाहिए।
नहीं, उनकी बात
उन्होंने कहा होना चाहिए, पर उतना ही होना चाहिए जितना हम संभाल सके। See, trade, you have seen now both sides. You have seen department side, you have seen the trade side also. There's a misconception. कई बार ट्रेड को लगता है कि ऑफिसर गलत है और ऑफिसर को लगता है कि ट्रेड गलत है। सबसे पहले तो हमें ये साफ करना पड़ेगा, भाई भाई कभी गलत नहीं हो सकते। We have to come together. What is this program today? This program today to come forward, come together and iron out those differences. Am I right? Am I right in saying so? So objective is we have to be positive in our thinking process. When I'm saying some of the observation from trade side, it is only observation. There's no critics. And with critics, we cannot grow. And I know one thing for sure, मम्मा से अगर कोई चीज मांगनी है ना, तो गुस्से में नहीं मांगनी, प्यार से मांगनी है, तो वो टॉफी मिल जाएगी। तो हमारा भी ऑब्जेक्टिव यही, हम अपनी बात रखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। Now coming back, I will definitely come back to the audience and I will request my IT team ready with the mic also. But before that, a question to Ms. Chaya. Madam, we are seeing GST common portal also. We are seeing ISGate portal also and DGFT also. Lot of, export related shipping bill. Just one example I'm giving you, export related shipping bill. If GSTR1 is wrongly filled up on GSTN common portal, it is not transmitted properly on IceGate and lot of refunds are being held back. I would like to know from you how the taxpayer can approach to DG system, because sometimes when data are not properly flowing, then the jurisdictional officer is also not releasing the money on export benefit. They are saying it is not coming, and manual submission as on date, it is subjective from one officer to another officer. So what would be your suggestion in such cases when data is not transmitted to IceGate properly or IceGate to GST common portal, maybe DGFT? What would be your suggestion where we should go and approach and make our representation?
Okay. So as far as GST is concerned, I think you're talking about IGST refund, right? Because for IGST refund, some details have to be sent to the GSTN and GSTN should send some details, right? Then only validation is happened at customs end. So if there is any gap in sharing of data, in automated transmission of data from GSTN or from IceGate to GSTN. So first of all, with respect to IGST refund, there is an inquiry on IceGate with respect to IGST validation. So when a user goes there, he can see the status of the IGST refund. If scroll is not generated, that means validation, there is some issue in validation. It will show some errors. There are different sets of errors. So from there, you can get to know where is the, say, let's suppose there is invoice mismatch. The invoice details which are available at GSTN end and which are available at IGCRS customs end, they are not matching. So it throws 005 error. So from there, you can get where the issue is, because you can check the invoice details in your GSTN, GSTR, and the invoice details which are submitted by exporter in customs, it is already available with them. So this is one example I have given to you, and our help desk is 24/7 is available to user. So from, if any such data is not transmitted from GSTN, we guide the user to approach GSTN, and if GSTN has not sent the and GSTN has sent the data and there is some issue at our end, that also we advise the user. So there are different inquiries available for user from where he can check the status of GSTN refund. And with GSTN, there is only one IGST refund. With DGFT, I think it is with respect to your schemes. So one of the schemes, e-script, we have already automated. This is fully available at IceGate. There is no need to go to DGFT for issuance of script. That is automatically generated by users based on the shipping bills which are processed after filing of EGM. And in case of other licenses, we do have some inquiries available on IceGate. User can go to those inquiries. These are called license integration or license details related inquiries available on IceGate. That is pre-login. So user can go there and check the status with respect to other scheme related issues which are governed by DGFT. And if you have any other difficulty apart from this, you can give the details. We can definitely guide the users. And if we do not have any mechanism for, checking the status, so we will definitely work upon that.
Thank you.
One thing I would like to add in this, let me generalize this thing. I think any issue, if it is being raised by the system, means any problem is happening because of system. Is it your question? Yes. So let me clarify it straight. First of all, you have to raise a complaint on your at DG system portal, which is service desk. Apart from that, let me tell you upfront that we are regularly organizing a outreach program on Saturday. Otherwise, on behalf of our commissioner, sir, we can do one thing. Our EPCs are always there. We can take a complaint wise, or we can make an inventory of the problems. You can say fortnightly or month wise, or we can share it with DG system. Because what I got to know so far, the problems are being raised because there is data mismatch between the IceGate and ICES. So if this is the problem, trade becomes immediately helpless, because the problems are coming because of the data mismatch between the departmental two platforms, and trade is unnecessarily being facing the problems. So we can do this thing. We can fortnightly or monthly, we can take your ticket numbers and all, or whatever the problems, we can collect them and we can share with DG system. If I think this is the right way.
One more thing I would like to highlight. We organize every Friday, we have a Pahel session on IceGate that is organized on WebEx, and users, all the registered users of IceGate are sent invite for that. And we take up the issues which are based on the tickets which we have registered. If any particular issue, like user is facing so many issues in IGCR, we have a maximum number of tickets on IGCR. So we take up that topic and organize the WebEx session for users. So if for any other category, like we do it on e-script, IGCR, GST, and all the issues which may be faced by users are handled in Pehel session. So if from this association also, if you suggest any such sessions, we will be happy to organize. And because
So-
on every file we do it.
So that I also didn't know. In that sense, I think trade also may not be aware about this thing. So you can very well take this benefit of the sessions organized by the DG systems. So what I find, Vimalji, I think the awareness is not there. Otherwise, as I got to know, DG system is regularly working. We are also regularly in touch with trade. So I may request you all, if you could tell your counterparts, or if you could highlight, and if you could do some proper, you can share these things to your colleagues and all, that DG systems and custom preventive teams are organizing such kind of programs, and you can participate, and immediately your problems may get resolved. So I think advertisements kind of things should be there. So association can play a vital role in this thing. Vimalji.
Highly appreciated, this kind of gesture and willingness to respond the queries. But one thing I like to draw your attention also, that I do not know much about IceGate, but GST common portal I'm aware of. If you raise a ticket, then within 24 hours, it gets resolved without resolution. Am I right in saying so? See, there are so many voices here. Now, I do not, I'm just making my observation. No. If same with the IceGate, then madam, you should take this feedback, having opened for the webinar, but if that ticket is not being resolved, then ultimate purpose of resolving the query is not there. That need to be, and this voice we are giving to CBIC also, GST and team also. And since from IceGate you are here, feedback to you as well. So maybe we have to work realistically. If ticket is being raised, then this should be resolved rather than resolving within 24 hours with no resolution. So this was my only small point to you, but nevertheless, time is short. I can't carry on, but I
would
want
like to take this issue wherein users are saying that tickets are resolved without actual resolution within 24 hours or so. So I think there is a lack of understanding with users, because see, we have some guidelines which are available on IceGate, like when you register a ticket and you have any other thing which you need to add upon it, or you have to provide some information with respect to the ticket, you have to use the same subject line. First thing is very important, which we guide the user when they call on help desk also. And after resolution is given, we had that window of 24 hours. When we resolve a ticket, we send an email to user that, see, this is the resolution and it has been resolved, kindly confirm. So we wait for 24 hours, and if in 24 hours the user does not respond, the ticket is auto closed. That is the system, and that is as per the standard available in the IT sector. So I would request all of you that kindly check your mails from where you have registered your tickets, or the mails which are registered on our portal, because any resolution is provided to in the email. If you are not satisfied or the resolution is not correct, you can revert on that within 24 hours. And even if after 24 hours it is closed and user come up with this issue grievance that his ticket is not resolved, issue is not resolved, we reopen the ticket. So I would request to check your mails and revert on the mail that issue is not resolved, because we, after resolution, we auto close the ticket within 24 hours if we do not hear anything from the user.
It's a responsibility on us as well. Believe me, I'm also telling you from my own experience. Sometimes we are not reverting back within time first. Sometimes we are changing the headline against which you have raised the ticket. And sometimes when we are really want to see, one thing is very for sure. Okay, 24 hours rightly being picked up, but again, are we also doing our part, which is important? If that is not being done, please write back to us. We'll take up with them. We'll tell them these are the live cases. Yes, please.
Many a times when a ticket is raised, the authority says the issue cannot be resolved at this end. Maybe you have to approach customs or jurisdictional GST, etc. And the ticket is closed. That doesn't work, because then independently you go to that authority, they also do not listen. So when a ticket is raised and the solution does not lie with that authority, it is better if the authority itself forwards it to concerned authority. Then we can also agitate. Look, we approach them. They say solution does not lie with them. And this is an intergovernment correspondence. So you resolve with each other who is going to sort out the problem. That should be taken care of.
Request Rahman sir to say something on this point. Please pass on the mic.
Before you go for question and answer session, just wanted to add 1 or 2 points which Sri Bimal Jain has mentioned. One was about, he said saying that apart from automation, manual returns are also required to be submitted. May I clarify that, in case you have already filed your IGCR 3 online, you don't have to submit manual return. In case you are having difficulty in submitting IGCR 3 online, then only you are taking the precaution of complying with the law by submitting manual. And our officers are here, all of them are here. Assistant Commissioner, you can ask them also. Only for those taxpayers where they are having some difficulty to submit, you are free to file manual. Please remove from your mind that if you have filed online, please be confident you don't have to submit manual. Number 2, which I wanted to clarify what Mr. Bimal Jain has mentioned is that 6 months criteria is there right from the starting, and it will continue to be there. 6 months from the date of importation. 6 months from the date of importation. And the end period is that your raw materials, you not only will have to consume, you have to consume, manufacture finished goods. Those finished goods will leave your premises within 6 months. You can't say that I have manufactured finished goods, they are lying in my godown. So please understand that, the 6 months criteria is from the date of import, irrespective of the new rules that have, new modifications that have come into the rules from 10 September. I hope Mr. Anant, you will also supplement me in that.
Only thing, based on the feedback which I've received, there is an extension which is given for 3 months if it is beyond the importer's control. So that also importers may
Avail that facility.
So that has been included in the September thing.
Nobody has approached us till now, but that's a very good point that Mr. Anant has pointed out. In case you are having genuine difficulty, please keep track of that and come back to us. I have seen some situations, Mr. Anant, that people could not do it. Let's say April, May, within 6 months, but you have not come back to us. But later what happened is after 6 months, let's say 8th month or 9th month, you have cleared it. Then you came back to us asking for ratification. That will not help. Kindly approach us before the 6 months for the extension of the 3 months. And the last point which I wanted to say was also one point that was not covered is that the other work in progress that is there. So that will continue to be there to expand. Many other aspects, what is there, we are still working, and kindly cooperate with us. Any other aspect that is not covered, any difficulty is there, feel free to contact us. We will be able to accommodate you. We will be regularly giving feedback to the board office on the implementation of this. Thank you. Sorry for it.
Thank you, sir. Rahman sir, just one thing which we were discussing about this ticket raise 24 hours, it gets, cancelled. Maybe the pointer which has come, Chair ma'am, what we can do, in case it is being passed on to some other officer and he's not the concerned person who can resolve, then he should transfer to the concerned person who can resolve the issue. Maybe we can pick up one thing to the trade members. My request would be, in case you're having these challenges, write back to us and we'll take it forward with the concerned authority. That is the right approach to see resolution and ease of business. So time is paused. So now I'm opening the floor for the question answers. So maybe first question from the first row. Yes, please.
My name is Aris Bedi. I'm on the management committee of the chamber. On behalf of a member from Gujarat. So they say that they should be debited for 5% under that notification by 20.
but the system is picking up the debit as 25%. And they have represented against that. Still, they are not getting the credit back, and the shipments are held up at Mundra. But Mundra Customs says still IGCR shows the debit, they will not clear it. So shipments are worth a few crores. They are held up over there because the system is debiting the BG with 25%. They are entitled under serial number 5 for 5%. So that's one. Next, they are not getting the automatic credit. Mundra Customs is, they are filing their IAN there. From Mundra Customs, it's not going back to Ahmedabad Collectorate, and they are not getting their automatic credit over there. So the additional bond has to be submitted by them. This is another issue with them. Thirdly, the Kandla SEZ is also not aware that exports out of the SEZ into DTA are entitled to IGCR, and they put hurdles in that when you're clearing from SEZ into the DTA, IGCR should be applicable to that. Fourth, even the customs there are not aware that if you're clearing under mover, you can still take the IGCR, but still they are being questioned that from mover into IGCR, they are raising doubts on that. And then they have another query which talks about semi-manufactured goods. They are converting their raw material. I'm talking of a mineral ore, which is which imports as a concentrate. You have got the finished goods manufactured, but the semi-finished ore can still be used for manufacturing the final product. Now, how do they account for this semi-finished, product under IGCR? So that's the issue they're facing on that also. And there were a few points. I have sent the WhatsApp to Bimalji. If he can then address those also subsequently.
So there are two broad questions from system side and policy side, maybe.
So on the first one relating to particular instance, maybe if you can give the particular grievance, then we can check it up, Mundra. Yeah, so that's a particular specific instance, so we can get that one and see if it has to be resolved.
Right.
Second one is we understand that there is some glitch in the recredit, which systems is working actively. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
on their priority. So that will get resolved. And with respect to SEZ to DTA, currently, we are having in the long term, there is going to be a IceGate system, which is going to be deployed in SEZ. But in the short term, there is an ICS advisory where you could debit particular amount from your IGCR 1 and then do. So you will have to adopt that process so that, currently, because there is no integration between SEZ online and other things. But in the long term, it is going to be, IceGate system is going to be placed in SEZ, so that will resolve the issue. And I need more information about mover and to DTA. So that is not clear. Maybe you can give it more details so that you can do. And the last point regarding semiconductor, so it's very clear. I mean, notification is very clear. What are the raw materials and what are the manufacturing? What is the end product? So the notification which prescribes it is very clear. So anything in between, I think it is not considered as an consumption. So notification says these are the raw materials and it should be used for manufacturing of so and so. But that is a general concept.
In the present one, you don't have a production data going. Say in the manual mode, you had the production data also going. Now
So we are not that is finally for you to keep it. But generally, because we don't discuss specific one, but generally, you have to comply as per the notifications. But if you have a genuine issue for the specific case, you can always take it up, because that is part of a notification which has to be changed. So this is a budget and this is a right time. So as a part of budget, here you can consider it if that has to be included, right? So that's a different one. But generally, we have to go by the notification. Notification prescribes certain raw materials and prescribes that it should be used for manufacture of so and so. So that should be complied with.
Vedisa, what we can do, whatever pointers you have raised, we can take a note of it and we'll write back to them. Let them see, they will come back to us.
Yeah.
That is the right approach, rather than discussing individual aspect. Anyone else from the back want to ask any query? Please take the microphone back. Yeah, this side. Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, okay, please.
Hi, I'm Ashok Bhutani. I'm a small dealer. We import couple of things from abroad and supply to local market. Now, I have one query, rather two queries. One is there used to be custom exemption certificate for active commands in Army. That's Northern and Eastern. Do they still exist or not? Second is, suppose we import one component from abroad and we buy a local thing from local product. We assemble them. Do we get exemption for that product which we import from abroad? These are my two queries. And third is, we do get queries from RBI from time to time that your bill of entry is not there. We do send the bill of entries again they say 20 bill of entries are not there. Whereas beyond 3, they don't do anything. Beyond 3, you can't import anything. And then they say 20 queries, 20 things are lying without bill of entry. And secondly, if your customs people write a wrong AD code of the bank, is it our mistake or the customs mistake? And then the things get standard there. Thank you. These are my queries.
Sir, I think the first one, I mean, I'm not in a position to tell you regarding the exemption, availability of exemption notification. Maybe if you can always, there is an advance ruling, but you can also approach EPC. They may be able to guide you regarding the products which are there if exemption is available. And second one, again, sir, second question is also very hypothetical. Probably, if more details are there, customs may be able to guide you if there is an availability of exemption or not. And with respect to AD code and bill of entry, maybe you can take.
So with respect to AD code, registration of AD code on IceGate, this functionality is available to the users. So users only fill the details. So, and once the details are registered on IceGate or the customs system, that is auto-populated in all of your bill of entry, all the documents. So I don't get this point of, by mistake, if the customs officer enter the wrong AD code, because once it is registered, what you have applied for, once it is registered on system, that is auto-populated. There is no manual intervention. So this query, I don't think either it is correct or maybe you are trying to say a different thing.
No,
Right.
Mr. Bhutani, no problem. What he can do.
So once it is registered, it is auto-populated. There is no human manual intervention in that.
Suppose we import 2 goods, 2 consignments. If those are right, AD code is correct. The third AD code is wrong. Whose fault is it?
But why it is wrong?
Ms. Chaya, what I will request, Ms. Chaya,
Yes.
what I will request that he can come back with the
Yes,
details,
definitely.
and then you can check and revert back accordingly.
Sir, if you can clarify, AD code is not entered by custom officer. It is entered by the custom broker while filing the bill of entry or shipping bill.
Exactly.
No, it is
Maybe
auto-populated.
the AD code which is registered in the custom system is old, which you are not using those things. You may, you have an option to change this one.
No
So
answers.
that might be the.
Chaya is saying it is auto-populated in every bill of entry. Am I right?
Yeah, it is
Yes,
auto-populated.
once it is registered, like
Once
if
it is
CD
registered,
has
so how it is
registered on
possible that in
behalf
2
of
bill of
the
entries it is coming?
exporters.
Not
It is
possible.
coming in third,
So
it
you
is not
please
coming.
give the details. Either it has been registered by you or your custom broker. There is no intervention by a customs officer. They have to just approve it, what you have entered.
So it is like this, you enter your IE code, so it will get auto-populated whatever AD code is filled in over there in the IceGate. So it is really surprising that two cases it is okay and third case is not okay. You need to check where the fault is. Then only you can approach these people. Now, sir, I come to my problem.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
So it is that I welcome the decision of the board that AD code is to be registered for one port and that will be applicable for all the ports all over India. It's a really very good decision and it is helping all the exporters and importers. But another side is the registration of IFS code. I don't know why it has not been aligned with the same AD code. Once AD code once entered for one port is valid for all the ports, same way IFS code should also be valid for all the ports.
So IFSC, see, the requirement of AD code is different and requirement of IFSC code is totally different. AD code is the requirement of RBI for Forex, and IFSC code is the requirement for importers and exporters for getting their benefits,
Agreed.
customs benefits.
Agreed.
So it is, it has been decided, I think it is long back, that users, exporters and importers are providing different sets of bank details for different sets of schemes. Like for drawback, they want the drawback amount to be credited to a different account. For IGST,
Agreed.
they want
Agreed.
to put it to a
Agreed.
different
My suggestion is here that, okay, those who wants to have different IFS codes, they are welcome to do. But those who want only one IFS code and one AD code, there should be some system generated system in that we say, yes, it is for all. And that should be applicable for all. My problem, because I have recently applied, there was a mistake by my agent to feed the data. So I applied for amendment of my IFS code. It pertains to ICD Gadi Harsaru. And side by side, I said, okay, let me apply for Patli also and Patparganj also, so that at one go, all the things are resolved. Now, unfortunately, it is being handled, all the three ports are handled by Patparganj. I'm in Gurgaon, my port is in Gurgaon. I have to run from there to Patparganj for getting my problem resolved, which in fact should not be there because it is online. We have to file the documents online and that officer sitting over there, he has to approve it. But it is not being done. I applied for change of IFS code about maybe 2 months or maybe more than 2 months. They are still lying pending. Custom is not yet approving those, Patli as well as Patparganj. For Gadi Harsaru, I first got a objection within a week's time saying that the letter issued by bank says DC customs within bracket preventive. The preventive word should not be there. No, such things should not be objected. Anyway, I got another letter issued without the word preventive in that and submitted it online. Then they said, no, you had to submit all the documents for KYC, which are already there for my other ports. It is appearing on their website. You can see all my ports which are registered. Nawa, Shiva, Mundra and other ports are already registered and approved. Even IGCR airport, Delhi airport, it's also approved and registered. But anyway, they asked, I submitted it. While objecting, they took 1 week each time, both the times. Now more than 30 days have gone. It has to be approved, but they're not approving it. When I asked my agent, he says, somebody has to visit, then only they do it. Maybe they are looking for something.
I think your question is clear. Can we answer him?
Yeah, so I think it's a valid point. We will note it down so that, we have the system in the IceGate. Of course, because IceGate also has a long list to do, but, this will note it down so that, it brings a ease to the thing, similar to AD
It's
code.
very important. It should be done and time frame should be there.
Yeah.
Because my claims or drawback and other benefits are pending at Gadi Harsarao for the last 1 year.
Absolutely. So I
And regarding this IceGate,
but in the meantime, we'll do it in IceGate. But for your problem, if it is not resolved, I think, maybe you can take it out. Like coordinating with the.
No, but they should come back now with the objection or anything. More than a month has gone. They are not objecting anything or they are not approving it also. Either they should approve it or reject it.
Yeah, so if it is there, either you can send it to board or you can send it to them. We'll coordinate with Patparganj and resolve this issue. But point of having an ice gate is well taken. We'll do that.
I have raised the ticket also.
Yeah.
About 3-4 days back. I got a reply Saturday 9 p.m. saying solution is resolved pending customer confirmation. Now I don't know what it means. Pending customer confirmation. Regarding same issue, I told them that it has been filed and everything is in order. They are not approving it. The reply I got is solution is pending customer confirmation.
So I would request you to kindly share the tickets.
Definitely.
With respect to this issue. And the other thing which I would like to place on record, that with respect to this IFSC codes, bank account details, these are approved by the concerned port authorities. So IceGate just provides you the platform, and there is a validation at the end of PFMS, and actual officer, customs port officer, is accepting or rejecting that this thing.
Well, ma'am, in this case, the Patli and Gadi Harsaro, both the ports are being looked after by Patparganj. There's no officer over there to sit and approve these things. These are being looked after by Patparganj officer, and he has to approve it.
Maybe to take it forward, we can take these infos and we can move forward. Anyone else from this side?
Sir, my own points are there, please. I will be in very quick. This was the main thing.
Appreciate कि हम सबके थोड़े क्वेश्चन ले लें. ये बाहर में चाय पे ना सब मिलेंगे आपको. आप बिल्कुल इनके साथ चाय पे आइएगा और क्वेश्चन पूछिएगा.
चलिए एक क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं, थोड़ा ज्यादा नहीं, मैं एक ही कर लेता हूँ. When this, sir, please.
नहीं देखिए ये सब
this is not my personal. This is not my personal. It is trade concern.
Okay.
When this new scheme started, Chapter 3 benefits and all that, exporters are asked to submit yes or no whether they want to avail the benefits and all. But nobody was aware how to do it and how not to do it. Many people, they are eligible for the benefit. Many exporters, but because they didn't click yes, they are denied the benefit. Our humble request, it is our hard-earned money, sir. Kindly make a review and give all those people who have wrongly or inadvertently had done it, they should be given the benefit, and a policy decision should be taken in the 75th of year of India independence and 60 years of this 1962 custom rules. I will be obliged.
Nicely said. And just to add further, these cases are now going to High Court. Just because he did not click
yes, sir.
Nevertheless, anyone else from this side? Yes, please. Mic here.
Hello.
Kindly allow. I will come back, sir. Mr. Bhutta. I will come back. Yeah, you can send it.
Yeah, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, greetings to all of you. There are many manufacturer importer registered on the IceGate and who has shut down their units. There are no provision for release of surety or BG submitted with the authorities, or what is the procedure of end use for their?
So this is regarding IGCR recredit. So DG system is working upon that. I think in next few months you will be having that available. Currently it is not available in systems.
Okay.
But we are working on that.
Okay, thank you.
But after the end of year, you can get it released, what I think. At the end of the financial year. Sorry, academic year, this.
Fiscal year.
Fiscal year, right.
Okay.
So because right now the system is importer or trade has to generate IIN number. So thereafter, every year, after 1 year, they can get their BG amount released. So in the same way, you can get it done.
Okay, if either they can shut their unit also.
Yes.
Okay.
So see, I think if you have utilized it, then it is on consumption. But of course, if you have not utilized it and you want to cancel it, you can always go back. But there are some system glitches which system is fixing it. So at any point in time, you can go to EPC. If you have not utilized it and you are closing this one, you can always cancel the bond.
Yeah,
Right.
Delhi APC is very cooperative with us. No issue with
But
Rahman sir.
system, there is a glitch
Sharma
that they
sir.
are fixing it up so that, it will allow for cancellation.
Okay.
So once that is done, I think they will be able to help you out with cancellation if you have not utilized it, right?
Okay.
You have shut down the factory, right?
Okay, if we have done partially and submitted the NDOs, then
So once they will be able to recredit the bond, then
Okay.
they'll be able to cancel the entire bond and then give it back to you.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything from the back? Yes, please. Mic there. Yeah, can you take mic there?
Yeah, hello. Yes,
See,
it's a
just request to each one of you. We have extended our time period and all the officers are available when you're going to have high tea outside. So maybe 1 or 2 questions because they have to rush back. Kindly allow me and I need your support. Maybe 2 questions maximum. Are you all agreed with me? Yes, please.
yes, it's a request. In IGCR, we are giving only 6 month time for the consumption. But because of this global crisis, there is a huge crisis of IC and chips. Okay, so like in a bomb for a manufacturing of any product, we are having 200 line item. Out of 200 line item, we are having 195 line item available in our store. But because of that 5 item, we are not able to consume the entire raw material. So I request to policymaker team, so please extend this period because trade is suffering a lot and we are having a loss. We are investing our capital goods and we are not getting money from our customer, and also we are losing the orders first. Second, we have 6 months will be counted from the out of charge, not from the bill of entry date, because in the ocean freight it is taking longer time when we are importing any shipment in Mundra, Navaseva, anywhere. So I request department, please look into this, especially for the electronic component manufacturer, because we are competing with the China, and China people having the raw material and they are taking the orders, and we are losing just because we are not having this support from the global team. And we request policymakers, sir, please look into this.
You made your point. Yes, please.
Sir, I think we'll be brief. With respect to it is an out of charge date. It is not a filing, right? So it is on overseas, so rest be assured. On the extension of date, probably if PhD chamber also can include it in their thing, it can be seen in the budget. But it can't be extended for all industries. But if you have a specific industry, of course, TRU will consider it.
Sir, you please give us the detail where we can send this requirement.
So it is, I think it is maybe association.
I'm
or PhD
I'm
chamber
helping.
also can.
I'm helping. See, you can write back to us. Take my email ID, write back to us. We'll represent the matter. Last one from the back. Yes, please.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I'm from public sector enterprise, which is involved in erection and manufacturing of power plants. Sir, my question is from Anand sir and Rohit sir. It's regarding drawback. We made exports to a country and claimed drawback. It was a bona fide export, and that the country is facing a civil war situation from 8 years. And even ME advisory and travel bans are there. And right now we are stuck with a situation where we are taking extension from AD bank every 6 months. The problem with us right now is whether to go further with such extensions when we know there is no clarity, or we are not certain when this project would be resumed, and our exports to the amount of like 200 crores are stuck up because there are no provisions as such whether we can pay drawback right now without interest liability, because the interest is not waived. So we are not able to make a decision whether we should go on taking these extensions every 6 months from AD bank. Please, sir.
See, I believe, it is for the remittance, right? You have exported and you await a remittance, but you are not in a position to get the remittance.
Sir, because it is a power plant project, we were in the stage of erection and it is stuck up due to civil war. So even the export proceeds and our whole contract, because the transfer is considered when a project is commissioned. So it has not reached to that stage. beside our material is also stuck up there. It's not about that supply is complete.
No,
It's-
you're talking about drawback, right?
Yes, sir.
So I think there are some provisions with respect to FEMA. Maybe you can consult your AD bank with respect to civil war.
You shall get your drawback. Whereas your remittances are controlled through FEMA, which is also incorporated in CGST and other acts also, saying that within 18 months you are supposed to report back. The board has given a specific concession with respect to, can you name the country, please? Civil work under ATS?
Yemen, sir. Yemen.
I don't know whether Yemen is covered or not. I will Google and search it to you. I think certain concessions have been given by, Enforcement Directorate and RBI for certain countries for non-receipt of, remittances. You can look for that. Your drawback is dispersed. If you do not get your remittances, then the department may give you show cause notice saying that we have wrongly sanctioned your drawback, your remittances have not come. That stage it will not come for these countries. Your drawback, stopping of drawback is not connected to receipt of remittances in the initial stages. So you kindly approach the jurisdictional custom officer for sanction of your drawback.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
With this, let me request moderator to come forward and for the presentation of mementos to all the panelists, and then followed by vote of thanks. And of course, at the end, national anthem.
Thank you, Bimal Jain, sir. That was a rather interactive session. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is the time for presentation of mementos by the PhD CCI. May I now request Sri Bimal Jain, Chairman, Indirect Tax Committee, PhD CCI, to present memento to Sri R. Anand, sir, Deputy Director, Customs Policy Wing, CBIC. Now, may I again request Sri Bimal Jain, sir, to present the memento to Madam Chaya Boyar, Joint Director, DG Systems, IceGate. May I now request Bimal Jain, sir, to present the memento to Sri Rohit Kumar, sir, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive Commissionerate. May I now request Bimal Jain, sir, to present the memento to Sri Pramod Rai, sir, Managing Partner, Athena Laws. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is the time to propose the vote of thanks. May I now request Dr. Dinesh Kumar Jangid, sir, Joint Commissioner, Delhi Customs Preventive, to kindly come forward and put forward the vote of thanks. Let's welcome Sri Dinesh Kumar Jangid, sir.
धन्यवाद अंकुरिता। अभी विमल जैन साहब ने कहा था कि हिंदी का तड़का लगे बिना कोई काम पूरा नहीं होता, वो तड़का मैं लगा देता हूं। मैं धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करूं उससे पहले एक चीज आप लोगों को बता दूं, हमने आपको एक फोल्डर दिया जिसमें ये एक होगा, इसके पीछे हमारी जो 5 ईपीसी है उनका ईमेल एड्रेस भी लिखा हुआ है, तो किसी भी तरह की कोई भी शंका हो, कोई भी समस्या हो तो आप इनसे जो है संपर्क कर सकते हैं। आप ये देख लीजिए। धन्यवाद। वैसे तो कोई चीज जब 60 साल की हो जाती है तो वो रिटायर हो जाती है, लेकिन कस्टम्स एक्ट के 60 साल होने पर हम ये उत्सव मना रहे हैं। कोई भी जो कानून है वो जितना पुराना होता है उतना ही ज्यादा मैच्योर होता है, और आज का ये जो आयोजन हुआ 60 साल के अवसर पे बेहद सार्थक रहा। मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँ आप सभी को धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करने के लिए। अभी बैठे बैठे मैं सोच रहा था कि नॉर्मली लोग सभी बोलते हैं, तो मैंने इसको धन्यवाद को कविता में बदल दिया अभी बैठे बैठे, तो एक छोटी सी कविता आप लोगों के सामने पेश कर रहा हूँ। आप पधारे आज यहाँ मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार, दिल्ली सीमा शुल्क निवारक आज मना रहा है सहर्ष, कस्टम एक्ट 1962 के हुए पूर्ण अब 60 वर्ष, एक साथ सब करें तरक्की ऐसे दिन आए बार बार, आज पधारे आप यहाँ मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार। रहमान सर का मार्गनिर्देशन सबको ऊर्जा ये देते हैं। आज के इस आयोजन का श्रेय पूरा इन्हें हम देते हैं। कर्म ही पूजा इनका नारा, जीवन का यही सच्चा सार। आज पधारे आप यहाँ, मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार। PSDCCI का हाथ हमारे साथ रहा, कार्यक्रम ये आज का इनसे ही तो खास रहा। विमल जैन के सहयोग से ऐसे अवसर आए बार बार, आप पधारे आज यहाँ, मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार। अनंत सर विशेषज्ञ ज्ञानी, इन्होंने कही सयानी। आइस गेट से छाया मैडम, बातें इनसे बहुत सी जानी। प्रमोद कुमार राय साहब ने सुंदर बातें कही चार, आप पधारे आज यहाँ, मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार। रोहित सर की रही कमान, काम सभी ढंग से संभाला। सभी सहायक आयुक्त गण का काम भी रहा सदैव निराला। हेडक्वार्टर या फिर एडमिन सबने संभाला साथ भार, आप पधारे आज यहाँ, मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार। आप सभी मेहमान हमारे, आभार आपका, आप पधारे साथ आपका रहे हमेशा, बने एक दूजे के सहारे। राष्ट्र विकास में करे सहयोग, यही है हम सबका आधार। आप पधारे आज यहाँ, मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार, मैं करता हूँ सबका आभार। धन्यवाद।
बिफोर वी लेट यू गो, मैं भी कुछ हिंदी में आपको दे दूं।
जी जी जी।
Let me thank from PSDCCI all the officials, especially Rahman sir, for organizing this webinar seminar. Why webinar? This is live on YouTube as well. So those who could not make it today, they are watching through YouTube, and that YouTube link is available. So in case you have missed it, तो आप YouTube पे फिर से उसे देख सकते हैं। पहली बात। दूसरी बात, आज हमें एक वे फॉरवर्ड मिला। कई क्वेरी हमारे पास होती हैं जिसका रेजोल्यूशन नहीं मिलता, तो EPC 5 EPC आपको ईमेल आईडी मिल गई है, और जिसके इंचार्ज रहमान सर हों, आई एम श्योर कि आपकी क्वेरी खाली नहीं जाएगी। तीसरी बात, PSDCCI IDT कमेटी टेक लॉट ऑफ इनिशिएटिव। आप नॉट ओनली फ्रॉम कस्टम perspective we are doing very first time, and that too Rahman sir wanted us to take this particular forward. GST we are doing lot of seminar and webinar, lot many faces are known to me as well. So आप भी आइए, हम इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स कमेटी में अपनी ट्रेड की तरफ से और गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से ऑब्जेक्टिव यह है कि हमको ये जो गैप है ना, इसको कम करना है। और ये गैप कब कम होगा? जब हम दोनों एक दूसरे को रेस्पेक्ट देंगे। और लास्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, एक मोमेंटो जो आज के मॉडरेटर हैं उनको हमने नहीं दिया, हम उनको भी दे दें एक मोमेंटो। उसके बाद हम नेशनल एंथम के लिए सब खड़े होंगे, बट लेट मी प्रेजेंट द मोमेंटो फर्स्ट टू द मॉडरेटर, जिनने शुरू से लेके अंत तक सारी चीजों को बांधे रखा। एक बार जोरदार इन सभी ऑफिशियल्स के लिए, सभी ऑफिशियल्स के लिए,
अंकुरिता के लिए एक बार तालियां जो है बजाएं। वैसे विमल जैन साहब, मैं एक चीज के लिए रहमान साहब को और बधाई दे रहा था कि ये जो मारवाड़ी बनिए, टिपिकल बनिए होते हैं, उनसे भी तेज निकले। सारा कार्यक्रम आपके खर्चे पे इन्होंने आयोजित करवा लिया।
सर यही तो मैं बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, जब मैं आपके पास जाऊं तो आप मेरे सारे काम कर दीजिएगा।
आइए एक मिनट सर, हमारे एसीज रहमान सर, आप भी एक बार स्टेज पे आए। हाँ, सारे एसीज को एक बार जो है, EPC के इंचार्जेज हैं ये सभी एसीज, सभी अपना अपना एक बार इंट्रोडक्शन दे देंगे। कौन सी EPC कौन देख रहे हैं? आइए शर्मा जी।
I am Mukesh Nath Sharma, representing EPC Delhi. Thank you. I am MG Sherpa, EPC Monitoring Cell.
YK Kavaria, looking after Faridabad and Rohtak EPC. Thank you.
I am B. Chakravarti. I am looking after EPC Gurgaon.
I also got an additional charge of EPC Panchkula. This is Mukesh Nath Sharma. Thank you.
सर एक बार लास्ट वर्ड आप भी।
See, this is not the end. This is a starting. हमारा जर्नी जो है आज से शुरू हुआ है, हालांकि 10 सितंबर से थोड़ा मॉडिफाई हुआ है, but today onwards get started. Please always take an event that, yes, we have done, we are satisfied. No, this is the partnership that we have started. See, please do not consider as a trade enforcer at all. We have a dual role. One is enforcement, other is trade facilitation. I always have been believing, have been telling that we are also one of the stakeholders. Who pays the customs duty? You. Customs department has only one of the stakeholders, a business partner with you, trading partner with you. Please consider as your friend. Please come forward, join us together, and we can grow. That is the only thing I can say, that, I'm appealing to you again and again. As far as Delhi, NCT, as well as Haryana is concerned, we stand by. My entire team is here, Rohit, John Gate, and my entire team I'm putting in front to you on the occasion of this 60 years completion of Customs Act. We bow down before you, we commit ourselves, we reassure you that we will give the best possible from our side. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we can stand for the national anthem, please.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking out your precious time and joining us in this celebration of this glorious 60 years of the Customs Act. Now I request you to all assemble in the porch or assembly area for the high tea. This is your host Ankurita signing off for the evening. Jai Hind.
I was